Sorry about that. There was a bit of a fucking glitch in the bloody when I clicked it, mate. It wouldn't go on. So, but everyone, welcome to week 4 of the. Is it week 4? It's definitely. I don't even know what round it is anymore. It's round 3, week 4. Who knows? But everyone, welcome to Fourever Rivals.
Oh, let's do it.
How's everyone going? Liam, how you doing, mate?
Mate, we're keeping good, mate. We've been busy, which is good. Keeps me out of trouble. Yeah. Wish my team was a bit better, but we'll get there.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's got troubles on and off the ground, haven't you?
That is exactly right, mate. But we are still ahead of Carlton, just in case anyone wanted to know.
Right. You can like photo. You can take a photo of that because it's probably the only time you'll get to be on top of us for the rest of the year, mate.
All right, mate. We'll take a photo of the round 1 result as well.
Yeah, you can take a round 1 result. No worries, mate. You can live on that. You can live on that little bit of joy for the rest of the year. And replay that over and over again. And here we have another fucking banana here. Oh, Manny decides to turn up this week. How are we going, Magpie Manny?
G'day, everyone. How are you, boys? Yeah, I'm doing good. Thanks for asking, Rocco.
I just asked because I had to. I don't really care.
Don't appreciate the fact you called me weak last week, but then again,
yeah, you're weak last week, and tell them why you're weak again this week.
I don't expect much from you, Rocco.
Manny's keeping my seat warm. I'm telling you now, mate. That can't be more truer, man, because we might have to get someone who's a bit more commitment. Hey, by the way, everyone, Manny's got to leave early again because he slept in. So we'll just leave that one for you.
Week 5, Rocco. It's I think it's round 4, but week 5, isn't it?
Yep. Whatever it is, I'm glad you keep up with something. You don't go to games, you don't look at replays, and now you're telling me about round 5. And then we've got Mark here. Look at Mark; he's all happy today. How you going?
Yeah, good evening, fellas. Good evening, and good to see Magpie Manny back on board, mate.
Good evening.
Just quickly, I was with a client today and done a couple of quotes, and he goes, Mark, I'm going to shout you a 6-pack of beers. And I said, all right, mate, whatever, it's part of what I do, And he said, try these beers. And I'm like, all right. So I thought I'd grab him, and I'm not quite sure if you boys want to maybe.
You're going to try Coke Zero, but that's an old joke.
No,
I mean, you're going to try Carlton Zero.
He gave me a.
I did mean to send you that one.
Carlton Zero. And look, I said to him, I go, look, mate, it's not alcoholic, whatever it is. But I'm going to give one a go a little bit later, Rocco.
You can give it a go, mate. You can give it a go.
I'm going to give one a go a little bit later. So I'm going to keep this on my little,
I like that. That's a pretty good joke that's been out for about a week. So it's good that you come up with a joke like a week later.
I didn't think it was a joke.
Yeah, well, because listen, everyone knows you. Everyone knows you as the Joker, right? But the fact is that none of your jokes hit.
Oh, okay.
I think you were speaking the facts there, Marco.
When I want you to talk, I'll ask you to talk, Manny, because you are now on borrowed time, just like Michael Boss. You're on borrowed time, so. After tonight, I decide if it's you or maybe another magpie that comes on. So I wouldn't try to get too smart, and I'd try to be nice to me tonight. So we got, let's say hi to a few of the blokes. Galicchio's there. How are you, mate? We'll see him next Sunday. We got Adam. Oh, we got this one here. The Gunners. The Gunners.
Yeah, love it.
C-U-N-T. Well done, mate. We got our favourite Greek. I was messaging Matula today. How you going? And yes, of course, I'm my favourite Italian. Who else? We got Peter here. Scotty Tompkins. Peter. Adriano. Welcome back, Manny. Who else we got? Oh, Black and White's in there. Glad you're back, Manny. We got Enzo. All the regulars are here. We've already got a fair amount in there. So, good, mate. It's pretty good, and I think we've got a full show tonight because
Mate, even the Carlton fans are supporting me, mate.
You got what?
Hey, no, nothing, mate, nothing.
I was saying, I think we've got a full show on tonight. We had some good topics to talk about. So, what do you reckon? We get stuck straight into the topics, or what?
Or do you want to try one of these guys? Or?
We could be up for something special tonight because Rat Poison said last night that he's going to jump on because he's feeling a bit sick, and he said send a link. So what I'm going to do, Rat Poison, is we're going to do a bit of footy talk, and then a bit later on I'll put out the link. And mate, I expect you on, man. Mate, I'm excited. I'm excited to see Rat Poison. Is everyone excited? This could be a big thing, mate. I don't know. No one even knows what Rat Poison looks like. Is it a boy? Is it a girl? Maybe it's a no gender. We don't know. We'll find out soon, won't we? Yeah, everyone's excited about it. All right, let's do this. Let's go. I'm going to be a bit all over. I don't know what's going on with this. Everything's a bit slow here, but let's start with this. So see, that's what's happening. I'm clicking on the first time and it's not coming up. Let's click on the second.
Your performance is a bit like Carlton at the moment there, Rocco.
A bit up and down. A bit like Collingwood.
A bit like Collingwood,
He just beat doggies 5 points by the umpires. You get smashed by GWS, and now you're walking around like you've won another premiership.
What I say,
how many games have you been to this year?
Big thank you to all the umpires.
How many games have you been to this year?
We love the umpires.
Zero. Haven't you? We've even asked him. We ask everyone to wear their colours, and what does Manny do? I'm telling you, he sleeps in. He has to leave early because he sleeps in. He doesn't wear his colours. Mate, pick it up, Manny, mate. You just absolutely use it. What are you looking for now?
I'm trying to find. No, can't find it.
Mate, don't ever do that again. Do not ever go that close to the camera again because they might take us off YouTube the way you went up real close because they might say this is footage we cannot show.
Oh, boy.
Oh, here we go. We got black and white with he's been in a amount of games that Rocco's won. Well done, black and white. We did have something special happening tonight. There might be. I'll jump in and say we're going to have a little bit of a speed. We do previews and reviews now on the Jumper Punch, and so this preview was going to be with black and white. But now that he's getting too smart, I might just can him and he can get stuffed. How does that sound, black and white? Now I'll just do our own preview with Alcha.
John Cougar Mellencamp apparently is going to sign a contract with the Carlton Football Club, and they're going to be playing that song every time you guys go out there. It's so good. Come on, baby. It's so good. Because that's what it's doing at the moment. It's hurting so good.
I don't know if anyone can explain what that was. It doesn't even make sense. But anyway, all right. Nah, man, we love you, black and white. Yeah, he's going to do a special preview with our friend Paul, so it's going to be a good
black
one.
and white. Don't be intimidated by Rocco, my friend. Don't let that solar panel in any way intimidate you.
We're all right. We talk on a regular basis. At least when I talk to him, I just speak to someone with a bit of knowledge about the game. Did you get your son to give you some stats this week or what? Do you even know who's in the team this week?
Yeah, we've got a couple of players that have. My favourite player, who I know you deeply love, is Mr. Cox, because I know you love Cox. He'll be. It looks like he's going to be sitting on the bench this week. So That's interesting to see. And I think Billy Frampton is going to be back.
Dominic Rocco, what Manny is on about. I don't think no one knows, man. Trust me, he's come on 10 minutes before the show and still no one knows what he's going on about.
I love your show.
I can't be bothered anymore. Yeah, Cox. Yeah, that's a good one, Manny. Good joke, mate. You're killing it. You're killing it tonight, man. You're really bringing up the entertainment with your jokes and that. They've been fantastic, mate. All right. We're going to go into the first talking point. I think Liam's been a star. He's actually the only one that actually does anything apart from me for this show, right? But he's come up with a few good topics, I reckon, tonight. And what's the first one you want to talk about there, Liam?
Should we get the big wins about the Tribunal out the way?
I know you always talk about the Tribunal. I think it's your bit
I'll go win about it again because it's cooked. Before I get into it, though, we are talking about the Ryan Mansell incident. It's obviously a Richmond player. I just want to say I'm not backing him up. I'm not saying what he did was right. I think he deserves his punishment. That's not what this argument is about. The problem for me is that we have seen similar and pretty much same but different incidents like what Mansell did on the weekend. No punishment at all. Mansell has gone out there, done it this week, and he's copped 3 weeks. Very frustrating how as all of a sudden it's gone from as much as 2 weeks ago being no suspension at all to now same act done by a player, he's copped 3 weeks. That is a problem. I hate it. What is wrong with the Tribunal? Someone please tell me.
Well, did you guys, I'm sure Mark saw the incident. Did you see the incident, Manny?
I saw the incident, but I don't understand. I mean, we're talking about that player that apparently got pushed, but isn't that part of the game? I mean, they're going to contest for the ball. How many times do you see a player that's going to contest for the ball? I mean, if you look at that over and over again, there's no way you can sit there and blame the player. I mean, look, it's just a freak accident. It didn't look good, but then again, we're talking about the biggest comedy show in the world, and that's the Tribunal. They got no idea. They've got no.
One thing I will say though about the incident though is when I spoke about an earlier incident, which is why I'm getting a bit upset with stuff like this, is we had one in the preseason where Ruben Ginby did the same thing to Sam Lawler. He pushed him into the contest. He got a broken jaw and he got a concussion from that. No action at all. This is pretty much the same thing. As far as is it part of the game? No. It's against the rules to push a player in the back. You can't push a player into a contest. It's not like tackling where if you get it wrong and you dump them on the head, they get in a bit of trouble. Tackling is still part of the game. Granted, it's done in a legal manner. But pushing people back into a contest where they can get injured, it's not on. So like I said, I'm not supporting Mansell. He did the wrong thing. He does deserve the time. But why is he the first player being punished? Is this going to be consistent? If someone goes and does it tomorrow night in your game, are they going to get 3 weeks as well? This is where the problem is. The Tribunal's a comedy.
Oh, it's definitely like, fuck, we've been saying this for years, man. No one understands what's going on in the Tribunal. It's almost like Chook Lotto. No one knows what's going on. But Scotty made a point. He was 5 meters off the ball when he did it, man. It wasn't like it was in the contest. So he definitely deserves what he gets. But I think what Liam's saying is correct. It's the inconsistency that one person gets 3 weeks and then someone else who gets a broken jaw gets did he get nothing that time or did he get a fine? What was that for?
Nothing at all. He got nothing at all, Ruben Ginby.
So that's the problem.
Same thing. Why what's changed in 4 or 5 weeks, but that's now a 3-week suspension?
I honestly believe that if that player granted he got hit, it's a freaky accident the way it happened, right? But had he got up and he sort of has shaken that off, and that would have been the end of that. But because they've seen the way the player has got up and the way he looked, and you have to admit, he looked terrible, yeah? So they're putting all that into consideration. So that's what it is. You know what I mean? You can tackle a player hard and they may, as you said, they may hit their head on the ground, and that may be just one of those freaky tackles, but it's all about how the player, because they're trying to protect the player in any way they can. But it's a sport it's a tough sport. It's a quick game. It's a game that's going to have, it's going to have this is going to happen. I personally saw it 3-4 times. I thought he was very unlucky because his intent wasn't to try and push the player onto the way it happened.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. His intent wasn't to knock him out.
But it never is, Liam. Like, I mean, 99% of the time, your intent is not to hurt the player. But that doesn't mean that you don't get penalised for it. Like, if you hit someone in the head, you're going to get penalised. I think the main argument here is, look, what he did was dangerous. Could have broken his neck, right? That's the whole thing. The point is the inconsistency. If they do it to one, they should do it to another. You know what I mean? Like it should be consistent. If he's going to cop it, sorry, what was the other player's name, Liam?
From this week?
No, that didn't cop it yet.
Ruben Ginby from West Coast.
Right. He should have copped.
And there's a few other incidences as well, not just that one.
Manny's affecting Scotty's mental health. He's now required extensive personal leave. Come on, Manny. What are you doing to Scotty, mate?
Which Scotty was talking about?
He came on, mate, and he was distraught of what you said to him the week previously.
Who were you talking about?
Scotty Tompkins. He's distraught because of what you said to him the week before. He can't he can't take it. He might have to take personal leave.
Oh boy.
Build a bridge. Build a bridge.
I don't know if you can, man. We'll find out later. But anyway, what do you reckon, Mark? You have said nothing about this. What's your opinion?
Look, I mean, really, at the end of the day, regardless of what the situation is, the player aggressively, intentionally push the player against two other players going full forward towards a ball and contesting. So, yeah, obviously 3 weeks is acceptable to me, but I think the AFL, what's happened is that these days the players are starting to use that tackle or that kind of concept to move their player away, as opposed to years ago they used their hips or their shoulder to manipulate the player and push them away. So I think the rule is changing a little bit, and that's the reason why that Gimpy wasn't suspended, because I think the AFL were looking at that and thought, okay, if it happens again, we'll start suspending players, and that's what's going to happen. So don't push a player.
With this one, Mark, like he wasn't even in the contest.
Correct. No one in the contest.
5 meters away. He's deliberately pushed him into the contest, like he wanted to affect the contest with another player.
Yeah. What about it? What if Rocco? He bumped him? What about if he bumped him? What about if he bumped him now?
Well, again, if you're 5 meters from the contest, like if it's in the contest, it's different. But he wasn't in the contest. He's deliberately pushed him into the contest.
Well, what if he bumped him out of the contest? That's
I don't know, but again, I'm thinking if it's in the if you're within 5 meters in the contest, I think it's a different outcome. But he's completely out of the contest.
Yeah, and that's why you should get the 3 weeks, because obviously
I think the main argument here is the inconsistency with the tribunal over one incident to another, almost the same outcome, and yet one gets 0 and one gets 3 weeks. How do you explain that?
Because I think the rules is obviously going to start changing. So you need 1 or 2 players to do that act and not get reported for it, for the AFL to start looking at it and going, this is not acceptable. So now, towards the end of the year, you'll notice that anyone pushes a player that is not in the contest and they get injured, well, maybe not injured, but concussed, I reckon, will be suspended. That's all it is. That's the way the game is going, mate.
Jeez, that's a cheeky comment.
Mate, they love you, but what, you can't afford a decent T-shirt? It looks like you got that from a sweatshop. Jesus Christ. How about you go down there and buy yourself a proper polo, mate? Anyway.
Wait, just one thing before we move on, just going off what Mark said then. Just to ask all you guys. So if this happens again, if the same incident or similar incident happens this week, Is that play again in 3 weeks as well? Yes or no?
We don't know. That's the problem. And welcome to Gus. He looks like he's a new bloke. He's a Saints supporter. So welcome, mate. And join in the conversation and jump on later, mate, and let Liam know how well you played against him.
Yeah, for a half. All right.
Yeah, we won't know. We won't know this week because
it just comes down to Rocco continuously. If it keeps on happening, I think that's when they'll step up. The AFL is like that. You know, 1 or 2 times, let it get away. If it continues, and the players are starting to do different things now to get into the contests. You know, you can't hold anymore. You can't bump like that. You can't even bump a player anymore, mate, without getting suspended. So they're using other tactics to maybe push. And what's happening is when you push aggressively, you will get suspended. That's the rule now. So I think it's going to be tough this year with these players trying to get to the ball, and the only way they can get to it is by pushing the player away. And obviously, that player gets into a contest that's concussionable. It's going to be reportable. That's the way it is, mate. There's no other way for the players to do things differently. What are you going to do? Bump him, and then you get reported for bumping these days. So
I don't know what's going. I love our chat, but I don't know what's going on because there's a lot of salami talk in there. So yeah, he's going to give him his Calabrese salami there. So so there's a lot of salami talk in the chat there. So we love the chat. We love the chat, but sometimes they have their own little party in there. So again, I think you're right. The inconsistency, I don't think they'll ever get the consistency right. It's always, well, how do you even know from one incident to another? Like, we can never guess what the outcome's going to be. It could be 1 week. It could be a fine. You know what I mean? And then, so if it happens this week, who knows, mate? I think Mark's right in a way. I think they kind of, the AFL kind of are wanting to put a stop to it, so they punish one person, you know, now, which I think that's what's happened now. They're saying, right, we don't accept this, and you watch, they won't be doing it anymore. Yeah. So maybe that's a good thing. Maybe.
They're inventing every day, every week. They're inventing something different, and that's the biggest problem. You'll get 2 players competing for the ball. There'll be a fair bump in there somewhere. You know, the fair bump might be a little bit harder than the other. It might player might bump into another player, accidentally hit him in the head. He falls. Let's give him 4 weeks. You know what I mean? That's just, everything's about let's see and then we act. Let's see and then we act. And it's just it's now becoming a game where they're taking away that real that hard guts, getting in there, going for the ball. Look, I'm all for protecting the player, but some things I personally don't think he deserved 3 weeks. I know that Sakilda supporters are happy to see that he got 3 weeks, but you're talking about Sakilda. That's the only thing.
Quietly, I think he should have got 3 weeks. Very dangerous what he did. It's like tunneling. You can't do it. You can't do it. You can break someone's back like that. Like, because the bloke's not even he's got no control. All he's done is
there's no one in the contest.
Put him into another player when it wasn't in the contest, Manny. It wasn't in the contest. It was way off it. His only thought there was to push the player into the contest, and you can't do that.
Well, he was trying to push the player away, not into the contest.
No, he wasn't, because the ball was nowhere near him. It wasn't going near him, Manny.
Yeah. He was doing that. He was obviously doing that.
Have a look at it again and again, and you'll see that it doesn't look. To me personally, I don't think it looks that bad. But
what do you mean have a look at it again and again? I don't even think you've seen it. I think I've seen it on a passing clip that you've taken it. No, Manny, you're wrong here, mate. That was absolutely off fucking away from the ball, mate. There is no way you can do that, man. It's like tunneling, man. You got to, I understand, man. Don't get me wrong, mate. I went to the footies in the fucking 80s, mate. I was going to the footies in the late 70s, right? I've seen tough play, but mate, you got to protect the player, man, or else you're going to end up killing them. And I'm telling you, you're not going to get kids playing the game anymore, man. You know who's the most influential people in the game? Who do you think is the most influential people in the game?
Players.
Anyone who?
The players.
Mothers.
Mothers. Okay, yeah.
Mothers are the most influential people in the game because the mothers will decide if their kids play footy or not.
90% of mothers will say no to football.
This is what I'm saying. And if they're seeing people, get
play soccer, they play basketball, they play as juniors, they play other sport. It's only when they get to a certain age and they sort of start, thinking they could play, play football, when they get, say, around 13, 14, 15. But when they're young, it's no mother wants to see their kids.
Like mothers are the most. I'm telling you, if they see people getting knocked out and it becomes a dangerous sport, they will stop their kids playing footy, and then the whole level of footballers will drop. You know what I mean? So I understand what they're doing. I think again, the main thing about this conversation was the inconsistency of the tribunal. But like what Mark said, we'll see what happens from now on. If it happens again, we'll see what they do. You know what I mean? Like even they get me even started on. They still can't get the bloody goal review correct, right? That's still fucked up. You know what I mean? Like it's still fucked. You know, like we had one where Wiedering. Look, he said he touched the ball. They brought it back and they said it's a non-goal, right? But man, they've called it a goal, right? And that was a goal to the doggy. So I'm not going with Carlton here. I'm going but they brought it back to the centre, and then they have a look at the evidence, right? They have a look at the video. There was no conclusive evidence. How can they overturn that? Like, what happened to just leave it? You know what I mean? Unless there's 100%. But again, it's like. They can't get it right. You know, these cameras they use, I've been going, how long have I been going on about these cameras? I don't get how they can't get good fucking footage of this. And if people say that the game moves too fast, have a look at F1. They're moving at 1 million kilometers an hour and they can get a still shot, which is absolutely, you can see the hairs on his nose, like.
Oh boy, that was awful.
Like you're saying, Rocco, about umpiring decisions. The last week I've noticed about I don't want to bring it up, but that 15 meters, absolutely disgraceful. I mean, I was watching the game.
He did mention this in the chat, so explain it. Well, what don't you like?
Look, I was watching the game on Thursday night, and I've never seen the umpire saying "play on." I reckon it happened about 20 times on Thursday night. Play on, not 15. Play on, not 15. And then on the Friday night, I watched the game, and it was very similar into the 15-meter kind of rule, and it was like mark, whatever the case may be. So the 15-meter rule at the moment is obviously the interpretation of the umpire, but when they say play on, the player gets caught. Is it holding the ball, or is it I can't hear the umpire saying play on or not? So
I think they've definitely cracked down on the 15-meter like that. Like there's definitely. They've definitely cracked down. So you can
what's
see
15 meters? What is 15 meters? It comes down to the umpire's interpretation of 15 meters. How do you know if it's 15 or 20 meters? Like, play on. And then the player gets caught and you can't hear that decision. Is it holding the ball or is it a ball up? That's the key too. Because what's happening now, that the player is saying, I couldn't hear it, that was play on. Well, then if you can't hear it, well, then that's an excuse. It's just like saying a player can't say, stand the mark, stay there, move 5 meters or 2 meters, 50-meter penalty. I couldn't hear that. Say, is it 50 meters or not? So the games, like these umpires are just contradicting 15 meters. There needs to be something else here.
But I mean, what else can it be? I mean, it's always been 15 meters, right? I actually think I've always been a believer that we should move it to 20 and 25 meters before you mark the ball. I believe that would be a better way of controlling it. It's a lot longer, and then you haven't got those short, dinky kicks, you know. But what do I know? But apart from that, like, it's always been the same, Mark, if you think about it. It's always been 15 meters. I just reckon they've cracked onto it a bit more this year and said if it's on the border, you call it play on.
Correct.
Yeah, if you don't know, you're going to play on.
Correct. So therefore, the player is unsure about whether it's 15 meters or not, and then the player says play on, and then that player is like, you know, trying to react as quickly as possible, and he gets tackled. So is that holding the ball?
No, don't they call it like a ball up if they see that? If they call play on and they get caught straight away, normally they call play on. They call it a ball up, you know.
Holding the ball. Oh, well,
They don't give him holding the ball.
It's really pretty much just delaying the game again, mate. It's just like, you know, ball it up, and then everyone comes back and regroups, and they all, you know, compete. Mate, it's like I said, I've just noticed on Thursday night, I could not believe it. The umpire continuously said, not 15, play on. And I'm like, well, that was 15.
I've seen it heaps this year. And I think Gus is right. Teams have to adapt now real quick and start like making sure they kick 20 meters. You know what I mean? Make sure where you set yourself up, you're 20 meters away, you know, so you don't. It's like, for example, it's like the man on the mark now. Like they've adapted the players now, mate. They know not to move.
Yeah.
Right? They know not to move. And they actually, if you notice, a lot of times the mark is taken. The bloke on the mark goes 3 or 4 meters behind the mark, just so he doesn't get caught out, you know, unless it's a kick for goal. Then they go right on the mark, you know. But if you look at around the ground, they rarely go right on the mark. They always go back a bit because they don't want to be caught out. Because if you just do one step over, bang, you get caught. And 50 meters is a big penalty, man.
Yeah.
I don't understand. The one thing I don't understand, which really, really annoys me, you got to play on the mark, right?
Yeah.
Now, I can understand if the umpire system you can't move, you got to stand there.
Exactly right.
But if you're gonna take a couple of steps back, all right, as soon as you're going forward, you're going backwards. They'll call that as a 50 meter. I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me. It's not as if they're going forward; they're going back. So let them go back. Just play on the game. There's a lot of shit in this game that I don't like. Doesn't make sense.
You can't move once you're on the mark, man. That's the whole thing. That's like what Foz Jam said. Stand, not 15. You know, there's the umpires are talking more than the players out there. You know?
Yeah.
You know, and then the other one that really fucking shits me is the ruck. You got to nominate the ruck. You know, like who's rucking? What's going on here, mate? Like, if you're not ready, you know what I mean? And it should be simple. Anyone can ruck. You don't have to nominate. But then if 2 players go up, right, then it's a free kick. It's simple, mate. Why do we have to nominate a ruck?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just, it's almost like kids. Like, just fucking anyone ruck. Anyone can ruck. Anybody. The smallest man. But if 2 people go up, right, at once from the same team, then you get a free kick, right? Because that's what they're trying to stop. You know, the man who comes over the top with the ruck. You know, that's how they should do it. But this, look, who's rucking? How many times are they waiting? Who's rucking? Who's rucking? Oh, you know, some cunt puts up his hand. Like, what are we here? Like, so, yeah.
Have they actually asked the question why?
Oh, that is a brilliant one. This is a good one. Yeah. No, it is. It's exactly right. It's been in place for like nearly 10 years, and we still have to give them a warning. Haven't they figured it out yet?
It's ridiculous.
Great match, Tracy.
How many years have they done this? How many years do they have to give a warning for?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, if you haven't got 666, free kick, stop it, mate. right? And I guarantee the teams will learn real quick. How many times do you see it? I reckon you see it maybe 5 or 6 or 7 times in the whole weekend. They give a warning. What's the warning for? Like, it hasn't like they didn't just bring out that rule. It's been out for like, what, 5, 6 years, 7 years?
Don't give a warning for anything else in the game. Don't be like, you've only kicked it 15 meters, but we'll let you off with a warning this time. Like,
yeah, ridiculous. If you're not in position, that's it. You're done, man. It should be simple, mate. Like, so that's a good one, Tracy. I definitely agree with that. You guys, what do you reckon about the 666?
No, she's spot on. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's pretty much just a waste of time, mate. If it's a rule that's been broken, just pay the free kick against the opposition club, and that's it. Move on. This 666 warning, it delays the game, mate. It's just delaying the game. Like the umpire stops and goes, right, 6, and then he ball.
And then they got to throw it up, but they can't bounce it 2 times in a row.
Mate, let it go, mate. 666, Carlton free kick, done, and it'll stop.
This is another good point. Should the 4 umpires always umpire together so they get more consistency and they know each other? Because how many times do you see just completely different, like they're not in sync, the umpires, you know what I mean? Like if you're working together, I reckon then you'll get more consistency out of your umpiring.
Yeah.
Good point.
I agree. Maybe that's something we might see in the future, Rocco. You're right. It might end up being, you know what, this team works together, and then but then again, you might have certain umpires that have got more experience. All of a sudden, you might have 4 umpires that, say 2 out of the 4 might be really experienced, or you might get 3 out of the 4 experienced, and then you might get only 1 out of the 4 in another game. So, maybe that's also another problem. Maybe you need to have more inconsistency with, having experienced umpires, because don't forget, this is a part-time job. Yeah.
Wow. In saying that, there is a comment about that. But before we go into that comment, I disagree with you, black and white. No, again, it's so the ruckman knows they need to set up for 666. Why are we warning them? You know that after a goal, you have to be 666. Just that's it, mate. Like, why are we warning them? Simple. But then like he makes a shit comment, but then he makes a good comment. The simple solution is the umpire decision is the umpires now need to be full time, and that's been I don't know why I accidentally tipped onto that, but
I was going to say, Rocco, he's that bloke, whoever he is, he's sworn twice. I mean, if the bloke likes to swear, tell him to go and join a comedy show like what is it? Eddie Murphy comedy for.
If you're coming here just to troll, man, like we don't need it. We don't need
there's a comedy show. It's called Comedy for Eddie. Eddie Murphy comedy show designed for idiots. I'll send him a text message, tell him where he can go.
Everyone be respectful. No, we're doing all right.
Don't worry about it, mate. I copped it last week, buddy. Don't worry.
Oh no, it's like put your comments. We love your comments, but it's about in taste. In taste, believe me. But then again, what do you say, Rocco? What do you call them?
Who?
Warriors. What do you call them?
They're keyboard warriors, mate. In a bit later, man, all the keyboard warriors can jump on, man. We give people access to us. So definitely the umpires. I mean, at the end of the day, hate them or love them, you need the umpires, correct?
That's right.
Make them full time, mate. Yeah. Make them full time so they can concentrate on the game, mate. Like, no use complaining about them over and over again. And the blokes are part-time. Everyone else in the industry is full-time, if you think about it. Everybody. Yeah. I reckon even the boot studders full-time, right? Yeah. But yet the umpires have got other jobs. You know what I mean? So yeah. Yeah. One day there might be robot umpires. It might be all AI one day, right? The whole field will be like scanned.
Sorry, guys. Front doorbell's ringing, mate. Sorry, boys. Keep going. Sorry, keep going.
I do hear the front doorbell.
I think it's my neighbour, Gino. Gino,
you know, Mark, when he tries to set up his comedy acts, let's see what he comes up with. Everyone, with bated breath here.
No, my neighbour, Gino, he always gets my fruit and veg.
You know, he's your neighbour. How would you know that it's Gino ringing the doorbell?
Because every Wednesday night he gets my fruit and veg from the Craigieburn market. Because can you give me 2 seconds?
Every Wednesday night we are on here until 10 o'clock, and not once has he rang the doorbell.
He's got a camera. He's got a camera set up on his doorbell that's set up on his phone, so he can actually see all this, Rocco.
I'll let Mark do his own.
Yeah, no. Can I just go, mate? He's got my fruit and veg, mate. I don't want him to go.
No, you go for it, Marco. You go for it, mate.
I bet you everyone knows what he's going to come up with. He can't come up with anything new. He's going to come up with a bag of potatoes.
The bloke is waiting.
Can I just go and get my fruit and veg for a second?
Mark, you go, mate. You go.
2 seconds. He's ringing the doorbell. Gino, hold on. Hold on.
Anyway, umpires.
Right.
Oh, yeah. All right. Let's move on from the umpires. We've got to talk about one more thing before we get to the games. I did want to talk about this, and this is about your man, Liam.
Yeah. It is, yeah. So, and I missed this bit of information, but I'll talk about it now. So, obviously, with Noah Bolter, we've all seen what's happening there. He got himself into a little bit of trouble in the off-season, getting in a little bit of a scuffle or assault. It was assault. And if you guys have seen the footage, we're not going to play it here because it's pretty bad.
I saw it today.
Yeah, he definitely did a few bad things. He's in a bit of trouble. But the interesting point that I wanted to talk about was obviously as a club, we gave him a 4-week ban. So he's missing the first 4 games. The next week, round 5, he's actually available for selection. However, his sentencing for his case is April 22nd. So he could potentially play round 5 and round 6 for us, and round 7 potentially be behind bars. He could be in jail. He could potentially get up to 5 years. I'm not a legal expert, so I'm not going to go into it too much. I don't really know. I've seen some people saying he could get 5 years.
When they say up to 5
years, it's the first offence. He's handed himself in. He'll probably get off. My question was going to be more around should the AFL step in and do something? Should they say, actually, no, we need to ban him for longer. We can't have a play like this in the game. Before, that was when I messaged you guys, but I've just gone and researched it before jumping on. The AFL actually came out yesterday and said they are actually fine with him to play, and they're not going to step in and make any decision on it. So I don't know. I don't know if it's the right decision. I think as a player from my club who's done something like this, and we're still choosing to, I guess, stand by him while all this is happening on, it's interesting. I don't know if that's the sort of image that we want to have as a club. And then furthermore, is the AFL to just kind of say, no, we're comfortable with the decision to let him play whilst he's got this going on in the background. It's interesting. I don't know if it's the right idea. I was just keen to see what everyone else thought.
It's actually an interesting, and I want to hear what the chat says. And even when we get everyone to jump on, that'll be an interesting conversation to have, because it is an interesting conversation. He could be playing the next 2 weeks. Should the club now jump in and say, wait until we get court and see what happens?
Thanks, mate. I appreciate it, mate. Thanks very much for the.
Here we go, mate.
Sorry, boys. $5 for 5 kilos.
Are they South Australian potatoes?
Craigieburn fruit and veg.
You know what's funny,
$5 for 5 kilos.
You know what's funny, Mark? We all.
You're not having dinner tonight. Piss off. Yeah, go on. All right, boys. Sorry, mate. Sorry, Liam.
They South Australian potatoes, Marco.
I don't know, mate. They are. They're
there you go.
Fuck, Liam, mate. Oh, jeez.
You know what the funny thing is? Everyone picked it. I mean, you had 7 days, or at least you had 5 days since we lost, right, to come up with a decent a decent crack at it, and that's what you came up with. That's what you came up with.
My neighbour got me a good price, mate. 5 kilos.
That's what you came up with. You could have come any better.
It's a good quality potato.
Liam,
it's a good quality potato.
These are, mate. Oh, I can't wait.
No, I was just saying that. That's a good combination.
Is that the Essendon? Is that the Essendon team? Is that the one that hasn't won a final for 7,520 days?
Don't get into that, Rocco, mate.
Don't get into that. If you want to get into that, I'm talking about a long period of failures.
Woo-hoo.
Long period of failures, mate. You just been format. I wouldn't be getting too cocky, mate, because remember that this chat doesn't forget. And then we wouldn't want you to cry halfway through the year and say that everyone's too hard on you.
No.
No, you sure? We'll see when you take personal leave, because you've got some mental problems because everyone's going after you.
Sorry, boys, carry on. My apologies.
Just going back to what you were saying before, Liam,
I just quietly wait just a little bit before you start getting a bit too smart.
I don't want to go too much
anyway,
into.
We were talking. Let's get before Mark tried his little skit. I can't believe he took 5 days and he came up with that method. Shut up, Manny. I'm talking. Right? I can't believe he took 5 days for that. But anyway, just to bring him back up to us. Before you came up with that shit thing, right? Absolutely showed Essendon's 7,520 days without winning a final. We were talking about something serious about Bolter, who's now the footage has come out.
Yes.
And that's what Liam's brought up. The footage has now come out. He can potentially play the next 2 weeks and then in 3 weeks' time be in jail.
Yeah.
So what I don't know what's going on. Like, what should they do? Should the club say no? I don't know.
It doesn't sit right with me. It really doesn't.
You asked for my opinion on
what we want everyone's opinion.
Well, obviously, he's a professional footballer, and he got caught up with his brother being obviously antagonised, and I would do that for my brother as well and my family. I'd step up for him and fight for him. He might have just taken that a bit too far. Jail? I don't think so. Look, he obviously hurt the bloke, but there's other crimes out there that are worse than what's happened just now, and they're not even going to jail, mate. They're on bail and creating more issues in the society at the moment. And take it from me, being in the security business, there's a lot of shit happening with a lot of young kids out there on drugs and creating havoc out in society. To be worrying about some guy that's protecting his brother and his family shouldn't have gone to that level, knowing he is obviously is a player that should be more professional than what he acted on. So yes, suspend him, but don't put him into jail for something like that. It's absolutely ridiculous if they do that.
We don't know what the courts are going to do, right? Yeah. But I think the main thing is, what should the club do? Should the club like, he can play the next 2 weeks, and then if he's found guilty,
that's where I'm starting with the AFL as well. I was like, do you really want to promote that you're supporting this image? Because we've seen the footage now, we know what it is. So by putting him in our team, does that mean that we are supporting someone like that? Is that the image that we want as a club? Because for me,
no one wants that.
I want to support.
No club wants that.
You guys would work as well. Like, would you?
But it's an issue that's occurred away from the club, and that's what's happening these days. There's a lot of players and so forth that have got issues and mental issues, and might even be involved with the club. You know what I mean? It's outside the club. So how far does a club, support these players with issues that they've got outside the club? It's just like a workplace.
What are you saying, Mark? Are you saying that because it's outside the club, they shouldn't get involved, or are you saying that he's done it, he's part of the club, he's got to face consequences now, he has to represent the club? Which way are you going?
The club has got a certain amount of responsibility for that player, but if it's happened outside the club, then it's the police and that get involved, whatever the case may be. That's the 50-50, because like I was saying before, Rocco, there's a lot of players that have got issues. That Footscray player, Hugo Haugen, he's got issues outside of football, not internally. So,
yeah, I know.
The club's paying that player for the next 2 years, right, to support him, yes, but they're paying big bucks for a player that's there's no issue within the club. It's outside his issue.
So what you're saying is he should cop whatever he needs to cop from the club, because he's representing that club at the moment. Anything he does outside of that club, like he signs a contract, he can't bring the Richmond name.
Correct.
He can't bring it down, mate. So he has to cop it. And I'm with Liam. I wouldn't play him as a club. I would say, until it's sorted out, you're not playing. Sorry, it's under court.
But is a club still going to be paying that player like every week?
I don't know. That's a different issue, because that might be a contractual.
That's my issue, Rocco.
But I don't think about them. We don't care about the money.
Oh, okay. Well, the club is paying out a player that has had an issue outside the club. It's just like you being at work. You've got an issue at work, or you've got an issue outside work.
Should they play?
You take a leave. If you haven't got leave, what happens then? Does the company pay your leave or not?
Yeah, it's a different.
Same shit, different smell, mate. It's the same shit.
It is.
No, because they're under a contract for a year. What if you get injured?
But it's within the club that you've been injured training and playing football.
Well, what if you get injured outside the club?
Well, then they shouldn't hold that contract, mate. That's the thing.
No, bullshit. If I get injured going to work, I'm covered.
Yeah, you're entitled to whatever leave you've got. But once that leave moves, what happens then? Is your work going to pay you? They won't.
No, but footy contracts are different, Mark. You're playing a game and you're contracted for a year. There's no leave. You haven't got leave as a footballer. No, but anyway, we got off the track. It's about, to me, that might be another conversation. But to me, is what should the club do as far as, because he's eligible? They gave him 4 weeks, Mark.
Yeah.
Right? Now he's eligible to play. But in 2 weeks' time, he goes to court. If he's found guilty, he might, let's say, I don't think he will, but he might end up in jail, right? Let's just say, right, worst case. I think what Liam was asking, should the club play him, right, in these 2 weeks, or should they wait? Is this the look they want?
Yeah, no.
Well, that's what I mean. I'll put it back onto you guys in your workplace. If you had someone that went out and did this, would you still be thinking, this is someone that I want to work with? Is this the sort of person that I want in my company? Because I know if I went out and did this in terms of what I do for work, they'd probably be like, you're not working anymore. I do support work. They'd be like, you can't work.
So you'd sack him.
The boss is being investigated.
The club's got to make a statement and
why can he still do his job here?
Yeah, well, and does the club want to make a statement and say, we don't accept this sort of behaviour. I don't care if it's inside, outside. I don't care if you're protecting your brother. I don't care what. We don't accept this sort of behaviour. You know what I mean? And we don't know the full incident, like what happened, what was said. We just don't know. And if it was your brother, would you stick up for him, Mark? You probably would. You know what I mean?
But these players, like I was saying, Rocco, before, these players in the social media, mate, they've got to be careful what they do. There's nothing wrong about him protecting his brother and his family, but it's about thinking twice about saying, you know what, I'm a professional footballer. I'm getting paid big bucks to play football. He should, he's obviously had a few drinks. He was on a bender for 2 days, Liam, or something like that, for what I was told. So have enough, kind of responsibility to not go out and do shit like that. But he did.
Yeah,
so he needs to suffer the consequences from the club. If the club wants to give him 4 weeks, give him 4 weeks. If he goes to jail, well, then he can't play, can he? Really?
Well, they give him 4, and as we said, like he's eligible to play the next 2, but then he goes to court.
Yeah.
Now, and the other thing is, I think we're missing too was the footage just came out. Like no one had seen the footage before today or yesterday, whenever it came out. So now that they got this new evidence, what should the club do? Because it looked pretty, like the way he attacked him looked pretty bad. You know what I mean? Like, so anyway,
I think the initial contact was pretty bad.
Leah, what do you reckon? Are they going to play him, or what are they going to do?
By all accounts, we are going to play him.
All right, interesting.
I as I said, I don't think we should, but if they're happy with it,
yeah. And it's also like, I think Rat Poison talking about the drugs too. It's about the drugs too, you know, like when a player, you know, like our one, Elijah Holland's there, man, like, man, the club's got to make a stand if that's what they want to stand for, man. They've got to make a stand, man, and they've got to, you support the player, but you've also got to make a stand of what's acceptable and what's not acceptable in your club. Because if you allow it in, it slowly creeps in, mate, and it creeps in hard, man. So everyone, I just want to say hi to everyone in the chat. You're doing so good, man. We've got so many new people in there. I'm pretty stoked, man. Oh, I got tickets to the catch up. Yeah, so everyone next Wednesday. Next Saturday, not this Saturday, the Saturday after, we got the West Coast Carlton catch up at the Sporting Globe. Everyone, man, we've got so far about 70 people coming, so it's going to be a big day, man. So you're going to get food, drinks. There's going to be all of us there, so it should be. We've got our own room upstairs with all the TV, so it should be good, man. So good on you. So if you want, the links at the bottom, you can get your tickets there for free. They're for free, the tickets. You get your tickets, and just so we know some numbers. But as I said, they're at about 70, so we're doing all right. And also, while you're there, and what we'll do is we'll move on to the games now. But before we go to the games, everyone get the Sporting Globe app, right? You get the Sporting Globe app, right? And what you're going to do is you're going to sign up. You go down to more, you go down to personal details. It's very easy. You find sponsor, go down, click on the jumper punch, and then you get all your bargains and your discounted prices for every day. You also get points to get discounts. So everyone get the app, click on. Every time you go to Sporting Globe, all you have to do is click on the jumper punch, scan your phone, and every time you're going to get discount. For example, Monday, half price ribs and wings. How can you go wrong, mate? Half price ribs, and they make superb buffalo wings. You know, Friday, $7 fireball shots. Can you go wrong, mate? We can get smashed on a Friday night. Like, go down there, watch the footy. You go down the Northlands. Let's do it. All right.
Oh boy.
You'll have to get smashed.
There we go. We've got a big tight up. Anyone that wants to go, he'll shout a ticket. Well done. Tickets are free. But they're for free. So he's doing a good job. He's trying to look good, but he's not doing anything there. So you're doing really good. How about we get into some games? What do you reckon?
Yeah.
No, we have to get into the games. I mean, some of us don't want to, but some of us do. And like this person, let's hear the bloke who's jumping around now, right? For the one game that he won, right? He's now thinking they won a premiership, but let's go. I'll give it to you. 9/18/72 to 8/12/60. Were you there, Mark, or did you weren't one of the 26,000 that showed up?
Yeah, it was a Thursday night game, mate. I've got better things to do sometimes, but
what did you have to do, Mark?
Will never tear us
apart. I'm going to give you your 5 minutes. I'll give you your 5 minutes of fame here, right? But before you go on a serious note about your game, right? Yeah. You're a disgrace. You're an absolute disgrace. 26,000 people you got there. You're absolute. Thursday night, mate, we had the same time, mate. We're getting 80,000. We went down the Friday night. The Bulldogs, we almost capacity, mate. Yous are absolutely a disgrace. Essendon, Manny said it last year. Your membership is a disgrace, mate. You, in actual fact, you should not be part of this show because you're not one of the 4 big clubs.
It's not about the membership, Rocco.
It is about the membership.
We are a powerful club,
and you should never get
it's about the attendance.
You should never get another prime time game ever because your supporters do not show up, and you are a disgrace. 26,000. Mark.
You can't.
I don't get it. I don't get something.
Well, you can't blame
me. It was a Thursday night. So what? So what that it's a Thursday night? So what? So what?
Well, I think a lot of people got things to do. Yeah.
What do you got to do on a Thursday night? What?
They're not proven at the moment.
Did you watch the game? Did you watch the game?
Oh, I sat there. I always watch the game.
So you watched the game. So it's not like you went to bed at 7.
No.
So you didn't go to support your club. You're a disgrace, man. I'm telling you, talk about your game, talk about your shit win, talk about the shit umpiring that made you win the game, right? You can do all that, but I'll tell you one thing. You are one of the worst followed clubs in the AFL. You are an absolute disgrace. They gave away 2-for-1 tickets. 2 for 1. And you still only got 26,000. Absolutely. Talk about your game, but
that's fine. I understand where you're coming from, Rocco.
This is like the three big clubs and a fucking has-been.
It is disappointing, but at the end of the day, it comes down to, winning
well,
games.
You're part of it, Mark. You don't even go.
So, I wouldn't want to go watching Carlton every single week losing. But
why are you bringing it back to Carlton? At least we go. You say that you wouldn't want to go. If it was a Carlton, I wouldn't want to go. But we go. We go, Mark.
It comes down to success. You think about Richmond this week.
You don't go.
You think about Richmond this week, right? They've got massive supporter base and members, but I'll guarantee you that the actual attendance for that game would be less than half. So it's about winning, Rocco. I know you guys are going to go out there every week, regardless if you're on the bottom of the ladder.
We go, mate. Collingwood goes, mate. Everyone goes except for
Hang on, Rocco. They get confused here. They get confused here, Rocco. That you ever compare your supporters to my supporters, my friend. Yeah? Win or lose.
Manny, I wouldn't be jumping in here, right?
Win or lose,
you only got a member. What are you talking about? You only got a membership. You only got a membership 2 years ago. You only got a membership 2 years ago because everyone was giving it to you. You're a worst disgrace. Shut up. We're not talking about
we're winning or losing.
We talk about my supporters.
You guys are the abusers.
What are you talking about, the abusers? We go to the games. You don't go now. You don't go.
You lose, you abuse your players.
But you don't go, Manny. You're the worst plastic supporter.
Yeah. That's a
you are, Manny. You don't go to games,
I feel sorry for you, Rocco.
Let's get back to the issue,
mate.
Manny had to jump in with his, don't involve me. I'm not involved. When I talk about supporters, I never involve you, Manny. Never. Because you're a barracker. So now let's get back to Mark's game and we'll talk about our game. How was your game?
Hey, Mark, can you just tell me just quickly why you feel sorry for Rocco?
I feel sorry for Rocco because, all these, true hard blue supporters that go there every week and they sit there and
Mark, blue. How many finals have you played in and won?
Manny's asking me the question. He's not asking me the question.
I don't give a shit and I'll answer it. Don't ask me that you feel sorry for me because I go with my family, Mark. I go. Okay. You are a disgrace supporter.
I just feel sorry for you supporters.
Essendon is a disgrace. Do you understand?
I feel sorry for your supporters. The last 13 games, you've only won 2 games, and you go out there every week thinking that you're going to get.
What have you won? What have you won? What have you won, Mark? Anyway, you've won one game. You've won one game, right? And you didn't even go to see it,
mate. I've got medallion tickets, mate, and I wouldn't even go and see it. Doesn't matter what.
You know what? You can have. You can have Jesus Christ on the cross as your medallion ticket, right? You can have Jesus Christ on the cross as your medallion, right? But if you don't go, you know what it means? That's what it means, mate. You don't support your team. You don't support it. You don't support it. You're not a supporter. You're a barracker. Now talk about your shit game and let's go.
Let's can I start again? And they will never tear us apart.
Dun, 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 dun.
That was yeah.
All right. Let's cut the bullshit here, all right? Okay. Let's talk football. Let's talk a little bit about football. Anyway. So it wasn't the best game to watch. It was pretty scrappy. It was pretty like fucking, up and down the whole 4 quarters. But I did realize probably up until third quarter, 20 minutes into the third quarter, I noticed that Port Adelaide were getting a little bit tired. And I just had that bit of a feel that the young Bombers, the young fresh legs, were going to take over in the last quarter. And we did. And I think without, obviously not kicking fucking 19 points, we should have probably got over the Port Adelaide Crows by Port Adelaide fucking Power by at least 6 goals. But in saying that, full credit, Zach Merritt again, fantastic, mate. What an A-grade player this kid is, mate. Gives 100%. Put some dollars on the Brownlow for Zach Merritt. He's an absolute frigging gun. Jay Colward as well from GWS. The last 3 years stepped up. But look, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not going to get too hard on the game because it was pretty unattractive to watch. But it's 4 points. It's a win. It's a win. Early in the season, it's 1 win and 2 losses. But I was just happy that the boys went out there and played the last quarter and get the 4 points with the young team that they've got.
Mark, can I ask? At the end of the day, a win's a win, and you've got one on the board now. Sam Draper, what's the story with this style of kicking?
Sammy Draper, he's actually, to be honest with you, Manny, he's actually practiced this for the last 12 months. So it's not something that he's just done. He's actually been doing it through the preseason and before last year. Practicing that banana kick, whatever the case may be. And it's working for him. And, he's kicked 5-0 out of that. So just give it to him, give him credit. Obviously the day will come where he'll miss one. But what do? Put him back in the shell and say don't do it? No, continuously do it. But he's been practicing that, Manny, for the last 12 months. So that's a bit of news for you, buddy.
Interesting.
Still disgusting. I hate it so much.
But it's working, Liam. He's kicked 5 goals.
I'll give you that. It is working, but
it's a disgraceful way of kicking. I hate it. I don't mind it if you're along the boundary, right in front. It just shows, man. I'm telling you, it'll make you undone eventually.
That's what I was saying. It'll probably get him one day.
Yeah, I don't like it, man. How can you not kick? And trust me, I used to bag Harry about this. How can you not kick 30 straight out? Yeah. When you're directly in front and you can't kick a ball, a drop punt, like, come on. Hey, can I just mention Kay? He comes on. He doesn't want to come on because, and I've worked out, you know why he calls himself Kay? Because he can't spell his name.
He's a Collingwood supporter then.
What an absolute loser. And then he's telling people he'll meet you at gate 1. How about you come on tonight, you loser?
Oh, yeah.
I'll meet you
Yeah,
again.
no, he was guiding me out last week as well. I reckon K should jump on.
It's the worst, man. He can't spell his name, so he puts K. He's a keyboard warrior.
Nah.
Mate, I'm going to put out the link, mate. Anytime you want to come on. Oh, how does your keyboard warrior? I don't know what that means.
Keyboard warrior.
I don't know.
Well, because they're chicken. They're too chicken to get on and have a chat, mate.
Of course they are. Very special K. That's exactly what he is. Man. He's a keyboard. Oh, here we go. That's the best you can do. Anytime you want to come on, mate, and talk footy, let's do it, mate. I'm going to put out the link, but I guarantee you won't because he's hiding in his little basement. Hey, ask your mum if you're allowed to come on. All right. Ask your mum if you're allowed to come on. He's useless, man. Seriously, he's a waste. I could block him, but I won't. I'll keep him on because he keeps the chat amused. All right, let's move to the next game. It was a good win, but Mark.
Well done.
It was needed. Obviously, you're playing against interstate side, like I said last week. You got to win those games, regardless where you are in the ladder.
They had you. They really had you at one stage, and then you crawled them back and you got it. Especially when who's that player? Who's that player?
Sad.
Horn Francis. You know that goal he bloody kicked where he's run past. He just grabbed the ball one hand and he took it and he ran through. I thought that's it, man. They're on, man. But
that's exactly what I thought too, Rocco. I thought, mate, that's it. We're gone.
Yeah, I know.
But he's still
seriously, man. To the Essendon people, go out, mate. Go out, mate.
Well, we've got the bye this week, mate. So we need it.
Oh, do I still live with my mum? Unless I go to the Carlton Cemetery and jump in the grave with her for 14 years, I don't think I still live with my mum, Kay. How's that sound? You like that?
Can we talk about Carlton Bulldogs?
Just for information.
No, man, this is my show, man. And if people want to start bagging me on here, mate, go for it, mate. But you're going to have to take me on. As I said, this year I've given everyone access to me and to all of us, really. Right? Mate, if you don't come on, I don't want to hear it, man. All right, next one.
I'll ask Kay to roast me here.
Hey, Rocco, can I try one of these Carlton zeros?
Go for it.
Manny?
Cheers, mate. You go for it. You tell me what it tastes. It might be a little bit sour.
I reckon it's a little bit cold.
I reckon there's more bottles in that 6-pack than Essendon supporters at your game.
We'll give it a go. I'll see how it goes. Carlton.
How do you like that one there, man? All right, so it was 11-9-75 to 12-11-83. It was it's the same game we've had for the last 3 weeks practically, man. We start off in the first half and we just can't keep it together and we seem to have problems with pressure and that. So I don't know what else, man. We spoke about it 4 hours last night. So if you've got any questions for me, I don't know what else I can say about the game.
I will ask you a question. Sorry.
Now, one thing that I noticed was your midfield kicking. Do you know who your best kick into the forward line is? It's your ruckman, Tom de Koning, mate.
Except for that last kick where he takes a mark with 3 minutes to go along the wing and he just spins around and kicks it directly to a thing. That's the only thing that really pissed me off. But yeah.
No, mate. I think it's your players that are the problem now. How they've got run down 3 games in a row. Yeah, they've led in every game and they've got run down.
Well, it's not just 3 games, really. I think it's not just 3 games. It's longer than 3 games, Liam.
I think it's fair to say that it's a long time coming. And I think at the moment, Carlton seems to be thinking, it's the coach, and they've changed coaches. And I think how many coaches have you changed in the last 10 years? 4 coaches? 4 or 5 coaches. at the moment, I mean, it's fair to say that these players that you guys have been building, especially the last 6-7 years, they're, even though they are individual superstars, so there's some individual superstars in that team. There's a problem there. Who do you blame? Do you blame the coach? Do you blame the fact that these players aren't gelling? What would you put it down to, Rocco?
We talked about it 4 hours last night, so I'm not going to go over it again with you because really I need someone who understands footy. But we went over it. So it's not just one thing. As in a disaster, in a lot of disasters, it's never just one thing. It can't be just one thing. You know what I mean? So, of course, coaching has to be part of it. You might say, oh, you've changed. It doesn't matter. You can change a coach every year. It's got nothing to do with it. If the fit's not right, it's not right. Like, I don't understand this theory. We talked about this last night. Oh, and then they'll come up with, oh, but this coach stayed and then they won't. It's a different situation, mate. Like, if he's not right, he's not right at the moment, If he turns, he's on borrowed time. I said this last week. Is he getting it right? Are the players getting it right?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? As the club improved over the last 4 years, that's the way you got to look at it. And if they haven't, right, who's that come down to? Like, these are questions that need to be answered. Who does it come down to? It has to come down to the coach has to take some responsibility.
Yeah.
Right? Is it the coaching? Is it a coaching staff? It could be coaching staff. But again, who's picking the coaching staff?
Yeah.
Is it then all right, then the players aren't good enough, the bottom end aren't good enough. Who's that's fault? It's recruiting. Are they developing right? No, then it's developing, But who has to take it? Is it who's controlling? Like, we've got this fucking Lloyd in there that's fucking been there for ages. He's been part of it. What's he still doing there? Why hasn't he been out there saying something? Why hasn't Greg Williams come out and talked? He's director of footy. Why doesn't he come out and talk? You know what I mean? Brian Cook, he didn't even want the job. You know what I mean? Like, these are all questions that have to be answered. You say, oh, a coach. Everyone uses that. Oh, it's the coach. You've been changing coach. Was the coach the right choice? At the moment, it seems no. And if it's not, it's time to go, mate.
How long do you think, when you're talking about rebuilding, how long do you think?
I reckon rebuilding's a bullshit word.
That's right.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. I agree with you 100%. Thank you very much.
Rebuilding is a bullshit word. I mean, you can reset it. You can reset a team.
Yeah.
Right? You can reset a team, right? But
yeah.
This rebuild, you might get like for example, Richmond, they are starting with a whole bunch of young kids, right?
Yeah.
But how long does it rebuild? Like, it can't take that fucking long.
No.
To me, I've said this, and you can hear all my stuff and that. It's bigger than the club. Everyone listened to my rant yesterday. It's bigger than what the club is. You just can't get presidents coming in and doing that sort of shit and putting in those sort of people and then expect it to work.
No.
You got to put the right people around you. I mean, what a leader does is not only puts the right people around them, he gives responsibility to these people. You know what I mean? Is that what's happening? Is he the right? They even said it when they got Voss. They said he wasn't the best tactical coach, but he was a good motivator. All right, motivate me fucking team then.
Yeah.
Put tacticians around him, do something. Like, but at the moment, it's just like, at the end of the day, you can stir me or whatever, but trust me, man, this is not acceptable.
No, it's
not acceptable from our club.
We're not here to stir you up and anything like that, mate. But to be honest with you, man, like, be honest, right? At the end of the day, it's been 30 years, right, since you won a flag. And just looking at it, and this is a supporter, looking at what you guys have gone through the last probably 4 or 5 years, Carlton, say 3 years ago, were contenders to win the flag. With the playing list that you guys had, right, I would have scalped that at the Essa Football Club. So you haven't.
What are you talking about? Do you listen to me?
I'm just from an outsider's.
You're saying I would have scolded at the end. So what do you think we do every week,
that
mate?
you guys have had.
We give it to our side. You don't think we know that?
I know you know that, but as a Carlton supporter, if I was a Carlton supporter, I'd be more devastated.
We are, Mark. Do you listen to our fucking shows? What did I just do right now? What did I just do right now?
The same thing about Carlton, you've had your opportunity. Your premiership window has been there. It's been there 3 or 4 years ago.
That's another bullshit thing, man. Premiership window. That's another rubbish thing, man. Premiership windows are always there. They're always there, mate. Like that's another bullshit thing.
I believe
that Carlton say our supporters aren't upset and not fucking fuming over this. I don't know what you're talking about. You might be fair weather supporters who say all teams have got these fair weather supporters who say things like, "Oh yeah, no, it's okay. Support the players. Do this, do that." No, I'm telling you, we're not here at the Jumper Punch. We do.
Well, the Jumper Punch obviously is a Carlton viewing spectacle, but looking at it an outside point of view, I believe being a Carlton supporter, I'd be more devastated than being an Essendon supporter because you guys have had the opportunity to get into that premiership window with the players and the salary.
I don't give a fuck about Essendon. I'm not more devastated about. You should be more devastated. You should be more devastated at Essendon than that. Stop trying to compare, bro. You've been an absolute debacle for 20 years, so don't compare your side to mine, right?
Why can't you, Rocco, why can't you?
I don't compare to other sides. I just worry about Carlton.
I mean, Liam and I can sit here and talk because we've got 5 premierships between the two of us in the last 10 years. But you guys can compete.
So what, man? If we're having a serious discussion, like just shut up. What's that got to do with it? We're talking about Carlton. Shut up, Manny. Go to work. Shut up. What we're saying is, you said to me that we should be more devastated, right, Mark? How much more devastated do you want to see me?
A lot more.
You're idiots. You're fucking idiots, man. I'm telling you. Serious question, but to say that, you can't support, what else do we need to do, mate? Every fucking week, every week we analyze it and we go through and we see the problems.
And it continues. It just continues.
Yeah.
So
I know.
They say that a week is a long time in football. They say a week is a long time in football. Now, Carlton tomorrow might come out and they may blitz because they're a club that does.
We'll talk about the Collingwood. We'll talk about the Collingwood game. We might win tomorrow, but it doesn't mean you fix the problems.
No, but it could be a good start, though. It could be a good start.
Maybe. Who knows?
You know what I mean?
He makes a good point.
But anyway, on the Carlton and Bulldogs game, did you boys have a bye at all? Have you guys had a bye yet? Carlton, they had a bye at all, or they haven't had a bye yet? They haven't had their bye? No.
The first week, you fucking malacca.
The first week. Okay.
Like you guys.
Yeah. Well, obviously, watching that game on Friday night, you could just tell that the Blue Boys just didn't have enough legs, mate. The Bulldogs just run you off, and
it's not about fitness, Mark. It's not about.
I think so. You didn't have the bye. You should have had the bye.
No, it's not. That
Collingwood had the bye. Collingwood's got the bye this week. They had the bye this week, Collingwood.
Shut up, Mark.
And I believe.
Shut up for a second. Shut up.
Carlton,
shut up for a second, mate.
Carlton,
shut up for
regardless of buys or not.
Shut up when I tell you to shut up, Mark.
Very disappointing. Very disappointing. If I was a Blues supporter, very disappointing.
Shut up for a sec. Your game against Thing was one of the most boring games I've seen. You talk about shit style. Yous are absolute. I was about to poke myself out with a stick the way that boring that was that game, right? But to tell me that it's not that we're tired, Mark. It's got nothing to do with not being able to run out the game as far as fitness goes. I don't see that. What I'm seeing is, Well, but I don't care what you see. You don't even go to the game. You don't even go to the game. Well, it's wrong. It's wrong because they are fit. It's not that they're not fit about running out. It's the way they use the ball when they're under pressure. And that's got nothing to do with fitness. Exactly. It's their pressure and it's the way they, the way they kick the ball, who they kick it to, their pressure kicks, the way they bomb it when they're under pressure. That's the problem. Not fitness.
They'll get there. All I can say is, Carlton, you know what? Don't become complacent. You guys will get there.
I'm not getting complacent. What can I do? I do my job every week.
You guys will get there. You'll get there.
You've been the
Manny.
No, Manny's right, man. I wouldn't want to play Carlton this week. I think it's going to be hard.
I'm telling you, we'll get to the Collingwood game, but I wouldn't be like jumping up and down the way you've been playing. But anyway, let's move on. We got another game here.
Yeah.
Oh,
2015, 135, 7-11, 53.
Marching in. Oh, when the Saints go marching in.
Yeah, that's enough of that, mate. You don't even support them. All right. Nah, look, good thing about this was I didn't watch it live. But yeah, man, that's a shocking result because I did tip us. I thought we were a better team than St Kilda, but apparently not. First half, though, was really competitive again. I did go back and watch the game. Yeah, it was really competitive. We looked pretty good. It wasn't the best game. It was a little bit scrappy at times in that first half. But that second half, we just lost the plot. The defending was all over the place again. Same thing. There was just so much space for the Saints to operate in. And there was a few interesting coaching changes, which I like, but there's a few things I still think we've got to work on. Like, we dropped the Camden McIntosh tag. I think he's done a good job in that role. He did a good job against Cripps in round 1. Well, why'd we stop the tag on McRae and Sinclair? Sinclair killed us. Nah, he had so much. I think he had 40 touches or something mental, and he's probably the best kick in the comp. I think, like, stats-wise, he is the best kick in the comp for the first 3 weeks. So that's mental. Why'd we drop that tag? We put Verlosten down forward, which I don't mind moving that weight magnet, but we did it with Blight last week and it worked well. So I don't know why we didn't go with it again. Interesting. Our midfield mix, like Taranto and Hopper in there pretty much every time. Can we try some people different? I don't know if anyone watches the Big Footy Tiger cast, another good YouTuber. Hopefully there is. I watch him a lot and he was just saying, like, why don't we put someone different in there? Let's get someone like Seth Campbell in there. Let's get a bit of pace on the ball. You know, we've lost someone like Shai Bolton who used to go in there and give us that bit of an X factor. I think, there's definitely some moves that we can be making. But the most disappointing thing about this result for me was we had a really good first half. And, man, we were within like 8 points and we lost by, 83? Nah, that's disappointing. Yeah. That's not good enough.
Yeah.
No, it's not. And as I said, I think really that's what people expected from Richmond this year. It's going to be a tough year, man. People are going to get except for Carlton, first round. But the others, I think you might get another 1 or 2 wins. But you got young kids, man. The young kids are, they find it hard, man. They'll get tired in the second half of the year, man. They're young kids, but yeah. You're definitely disappointed in an 83-point loss.
Yeah, it's disappointing because of where we were at. Like if we'd have kept it consistent, if we'd have kept it close the whole game, we would have been like, all right, fair play. We've put in a good effort. But we did like Carlton, mate. We put in a good performance and then we fell away. It's like you probably feel the same. It's like, how can you play so good and then you just drop off? How's that happen?
100%. We got Hawker in there. How are you, Hawker? Yeah.
Liam, my friend.
I have to love yous, and I have to say goodbye. Unfortunately, my time has come. But good luck to Carlton. You're going to need it. The Pies are going to be thirsty, but we know that one of the biggest rivals is Collingwood and Carlton. So I hope it is a good game. I hope the Magpies do well out of this. But I've got to go. Thanks, guys. Next week I'll be able to be out throughout the whole show. But
cold pies
and hot pies.
Cold pies. Love you, Manny.
Okay.
All right, what we'll do then now is I reckon we can get some people on because we've talked and then we can talk about our games. We can talk about our games. We can do our tips. Or do you want to do the tips first?
No, I was just going to refer to Liam here quickly about Richmond. You're not going to get away with it too easy, Liam, because there's a lot of viewers here that are starting to put some bullshit comments on that's starting to piss me off as well.
No, yeah, I'm reading them.
I'll leave that to Manny to discuss next week. But mate, you were pretty surprised last week when I backed St Kilda to win by 10 goals, and you said, "Oh, come on, Mark. What do you mean 10 goals?"
I wasn't. Mate. This is why I'm disappointed. St Kilda are not. Again, I'm going to sit here and say it again. St Kilda's going to get belted this week against Port Adelaide. There's no way. I'm so surprised.
Well, that was a question.
I know it's obviously harder to say that now.
I seriously believe that. I think that Richmond. I don't know if Adamuzze is the right key for your team, the players, the young players. I think there's a couple of coaches next year that are might be available to maybe get involved there, which is obviously Longmire and maybe Ken Hinkley. I just believe like Guzzo might not be the right. We all got young players in our side, but if the coach is not right, sometimes it can delay the process of rebuilding. So I believe that maybe a year, maybe two, maybe get one of those two coaches involved, and that might see a little bit more success in Richmond. But I can't see it happening with Adamuzze, mate. He's doing his best. I'm not having a go at him. It's nothing personal.
Yeah,
man. Mark, I'm with you. I do understand what you're saying, and look, I mean, if someone like Ken Hinkley did become available, we'd definitely have a look for sure. I think for me, I think I said it at the start of the season is last season was really hard to get a grasp on Uze, particularly with all the injuries and all the players coming in and out. It was really hard to get a grasp. This season, with 3 games in, he's still got a bit of time. And while it could make, for the young players, we don't know what sort of connection that they have with Uze. So I think there's a few things behind closed doors that we need to see. And we'll see that come out over the season. I feel like at the moment, you want to stick with the coach and we want to build with the coach.
Correct.
That seems like the play for me. Whereas, we don't. If we get a new person in, who knows if they're gonna? Maybe the players will be like, well, we don't want another coach. We're happy with Uze. Why have you got rid of him? Yeah. So while I do agree with your argument, I do think there is an argument the other way saying like, let's give him a chance.
Yeah.
So we got
not dismissing your argument, but not.
Spot on.
I think I've gone on the fence here. That's not right, is it?
It's good. It's good, mate. It's good.
Far out. All right, listen. We have got a full house of people here. I can't believe it how many. So let's get some on. Let's get some on, man.
Be careful who you bring on. Be careful who you bring on, Rocco. It is Fourever rivals.
We've got 91 in the chat at the moment. That's cool.
Let's get in Scotty straight up, as I know he's gonna get onto the Monday Blues. We're getting on soon. How are you, Scotty?
Hey, nice. All right, that should be
Scotty. Nah? Okay.
We can't hear you, Scotty. Scotty, we can't hear you.
Right.
All right, fix it up. While you're fixing it up, wait, see if we can fix it up. Oh, this is great TV. All right, I'm gonna take you out for a sec, and I want to just. Oh, where did he go? I can't see you, Rat. If you show me your face, because I don't know what you're gonna come up with. So can you show your face? Because I can see you on the screen here. Can you show your face? Are you gonna turn on your camera?
Yeah, don't be afraid, guys.
He's not going to turn on. So in the meantime, I want to get this bloke on, Hawker. How are you, Hawker?
Oh, yeah, no, it's good to be back. Good to be back on Fourever Rivals. Favorite part of the week, getting on Fourever Rivals.
That's it, mate. I love little Hawker, man. No, this is, hey, we've got Saints supporters. We've got all sorts of people in here. So how you going, mate? How you going, mate? Like, how are those Hawks going?
Oh, it's been a good week. Look, it's been a good 4 weeks. I don't know if we're going to lose this whole year, to be honest. Being 35 points down against the Giants, getting the win. Look, it's pretty convincing. Yeah, I'm so happy right now, to be honest. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
It was Hawker, mate. It was a great win, wasn't it, mate? You played at what was Tasmania?
Yep.
So that's your home ground, isn't it? Really, you're playing.
So
against
that's the only thing that's worrying me is that it was at Tasmania. Like, it's a bit. If we're playing them in Sydney, might have been a different story. But look, we'll still take the win.
You've got to win those games in Tasmania, mate. You know, Hawthorn are going to win them regardless where they are on the ladder. So it was great credit to you boys, mate, and you come back and fought well against GWS. But I wouldn't get too cocky, mate. Not too cocky right now.
Oh, jeez, mate, you can't get cocky at all, mate. It's been 30 years now since you've been cocky, so you know I'm gonna do what I want. So yeah, I'm gonna stay cocky. I'm gonna stay cocky.
Nah, look, I really can't say much about the Hawks, to tell you the truth, man. They're doing pretty good, and they came back against GWS, you know. So good stuff, man. And you're 4-0, and you come and you got a bye now, so you're going to get a bit of a rest, man. And like the team, there's no injuries. You're looking strong. You're beating everyone, mate. Man, you're on top of the world at the moment, man.
I still think Carlton, they actually showed a bit this week. Like, it's probably the best game we've played the whole season. But again, it's just, I don't know. It's pretty similar also with Geelong. I feel like Carlton and Geelong in the last few has been pretty similar in the way they can't really seem to run out of game. Like Geelong in that last quarter, they struggled, and same with Carlton. Still a close game though. Good effort from Carlton. You just need to. It is a unique thing that's happening at Carlton. It's just weird.
We got some issues there, but look, the good thing is, like, we'll talk about the Collingwood game soon. But the good thing is, man, it's not like we're playing full bag. We're playing a lot of good footy. It's just
your majority of the time you're playing really well.
At the time, mate. I mean, in all games we've been up, like fucking 6, 7, 4 goals. We've been up. Even against you guys, we were up like 3 goals at one stage. So it's not like we can't get there. If we turn it on, I mean, Collingwood have got to be careful this year. This week.
Oh, I nearly tipped Carlton. I was like, Jegs, this is perfect. This is a perfect story.
Look, it's hard to tip Carlton this week. I do understand. You know what I mean? But
it'd be a perfect story.
Okay, if you want to jump on, or you're just going to be a keyboard warrior, keep going, Hawker. Yeah, but what about what do you think about the Tigers then?
I think the best thing about that round 1 win, to go back to round 1, is that the expectation, like, teams play well when they've got nothing to lose. And I feel like, I don't know, you've come into the middle of the season, or nearly the middle of the season, and I don't know. You're still going to finish bottom 4, but it's good to say at least you put up a bit of a fight. But you've done the right thing in that, just clearing out your whole team. That's definitely the best thing to do. It's what we probably didn't do. I feel like in our rebuild, we kind of just like elongated it, and it just turned into a big mess, and it was awful. So yeah, Tigers will be back up soon.
But you're back there.
That's fair play.
Yeah, but I feel like people forget for a really long time, from 2018 to the start of 2024, we were absolutely awful. But we weren't really awful. Yeah, you don't want to be like a mid-team. You'd rather just be really bad. Not like, I don't know.
No, you make a good point though about expectations. Like, no one's really expecting us to do much. So yeah, so when we go out and get belted by teams, even though I hate it, at least it's not the worst thing in the world, because people are kind of like, well, we kind of expected you to get belted. But then when we go out and we have a good performance, people are going to be like, oh hell yeah, how good was that for Richmond?
Yeah,
I like it. It's not too bad. Not a bad spot to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't think so. So what do you reckon? You got the bye. What are you going to do this weekend, mate? What are you going to do this weekend? You're going to watch all the footy? Do you watch all the games, Hawker?
I do watch. I watch as many games as I can. But yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do this week. It's a bit weird. It's like, it's like missing your child, isn't it? Just missing the football. It's not on. It's like, oh.
People like us who go to the footy, right? Unlike Mark and Manny, you know, who just hide at home, and they make excuses like it's a Thursday night, I can't leave the house. You know, we go to the footy, so when it's not on, you actually feel a bit lost, don't you?
Yeah, it's weird. It's like there's something missing in your life. But I reckon the bye is actually gonna not do great for us. I don't want to lose this momentum we've got.
Who you got straight after the bye?
Oh, we got a bad game straight after the bye. We got Port Adelaide in Adelaide, which is just going to be stressful.
That's the
gather round.
The gather
I'm
round.
going, so I'm pretty excited to go. I'm also terrified I'm going to get stabbed. Like, it's scary stuff in Port Adelaide. I'm genuinely worried for my life. But especially after last year's bloody semi-final. Yeah, it's going to be exciting.
Have you been to Adelaide before?
Yeah, I was lucky enough to go last year, and Adelaide Oval was crazy. It's probably the second best ground in Australia.
It's a good ground. It's a good place. I've been to Gather Round a couple of years ago, and it is a good weekend. You know what I mean? You could feel the footy in the whole state. Like, it feels good. Yeah. So good luck, man. So yeah. So anyway, Hawk, I've got a full house this time. So thanks for coming on.
Hawker, you're a great fella, mate, but I hate the Hawthorn Football Club, mate. Robert Dippy a minute ago.
Mate, you're just jealous.
Sam Mitchell, they're all dog players, mate. They're all rough and just...
Yeah, that's why they all got over 4 premierships each. That's good, mate.
They're the roughest dog players out, Hawker. But as a young fella, mate, I really appreciate you coming on the show, buddy. And it's forever ours, mate. So... regardless, mate, you're going to cop it if I'm going to give it to you, or Liam and Rocco, or Manny. You got to put up with it, yeah?
Yeah, mate.
Good boy.
That's all right. Thanks so much for getting me on, boys. Thank you so much.
See you, mate. Enjoy.
See you, boys.
All right, we'll see if Scotty's. You right now, Scotty?
Am I good?
You're good, man. You're good, mate.
Too loud, man. Too loud.
The issue was that when I was fixing your equipment, Rocco, I ended up fucking up my equipment.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I had to do a quick reset. But
are you going to be there tomorrow night for some special recordings?
Yeah, I'll be there. I went out and got a selfie stick just in case I couldn't find a cameraman, so we can get creative.
So we're going to do a bit of a street talk, rocking all over the burbs at the game tomorrow. So there'll be a before and after. And Kay, who can't spell his name, so they use a lowercase K. Yeah.
I hope he'll be there. I was hoping to bump into Manny, but he's not here. I couldn't ask him.
No, he won't go to the game, man. He's useless, man. He will not go to the game.
He's piss weak, man, and like he comes on here, does fuck all, and then leaves early. It's his trademark. And
we told him, like, he knew that what he had to do to make sure he could stay on the whole night, and he didn't. And so anyway, but that's piss weak.
And every time Manny fucks off early or doesn't show up, I want everyone in the chat to give big ups to Mr. Black and White United. I'm going to put in a big campaign to have him take over Manny's empty seat. And I think the show will be better with him, to be honest.
Well, we might have to have a bit of a duel and see what we can do, and maybe get them to have a bit of a duel, and we'll see which one we want on. I don't know. We might have to do a bit of a vote, or maybe we'll do like a bit of the vote, a bit of a contest. What do you reckon?
We'll put them up 1v1, a real battle of the mind.
So have you got a question for these guys? Have you got a question for Mark?
I did have some for Manny, but unfortunately it's going to have to be my Uncle Mark. That's how he likes to be called these days. I know you've brought up the two youngest blokes in the TJP community. One after the other. So my Uncle Mark, I've got two for you. I've got a bad one and a good one. Which one do you want first?
Thanks, mate. Give me the bad one.
All right,
all right, mate. Considering that you slate us Carlton supporters and say how awful we are, what excuses do you have for the Essendon Football Club fans and their treatment of Ben Mackay? What they did to him on Thursday night was atrocious by sarcastically cheering and clapping when he was taking uncontested marks and that. Apparently, it's called a Boston cheer. I've never heard that before. You hear these new phrases every week, but I know that made sense. Like, we've got our own Mackay, Mark. We know how sensitive they can be. And they're from Warragul. I'm from Warragul. We're sensitive young men. And, like, we'll criticize him on his efforts and the way that he plays, but he doesn't play for our team. When Harry puts on the monogram, we back him no matter what, especially on fucking game day. What excuses do you have for the Essendon fans and their treatment of Ben?
It was pretty poor.
You know, obviously, Ben hasn't had the best start to our club. So I think what's happening is that our supporters are starting to think, you know, what have we invested in? And again, it's all about the supporters and obviously supporting the club. But I really didn't see a big issue about that. I think it happens in football where, you know, if a player hasn't touched no, I think if a player hasn't touched the ball, sometimes the crowd will go, yeah, or he's had his first kick and so forth. But I wouldn't let that get too involved in the way we've gone about it. I mean, you think about it. You boys walking off the ground and supporters are screaming at you and spitting at you and
that's passion, Mark. It's different. It's apples and oranges, mate.
That's disrespectful. The player has not lived up to his expectation, and the supporters will sit there and you know, cheer if he's kicked a goal or he's taken a mark. It happens every week, mate. Especially to the players that are expected to perform every week, being recruited or being paid a certain amount of funds and money to play in that side. So, you know what? To be honest with you, Scotty, when he took that mark, I actually sat there and went, "Yay! Thank fucking Christ for that!" Like,
you did
because at the end of the day, he's a professional footballer and he's getting paid $1.1 million a year to play football. And if you can't take an uncontested or contested mark in the back line, then the supporters are going to retaliate, Scotty. So
Ben Mackay is your best intercept marker for the last 2 years.
Can I say something before you go? First of all, right, don't just make up stuff. No Carlton supporter has spat at their players, right? So don't just add stuff to your thing. And second of all, Essendon,
we've coming down a race.
We spat at our players. Find me the evidence where a Carlton supporter has spat at their players.
Coming down a race, I'm talking about.
When? Show me that evidence,
I'm not going to show. I've seen.
Because there is none. So don't go making stuff up. That's the first thing, right? Second thing is your support is exactly the same to your teammate. So don't go like throwing shit at us when your support is exactly the same thing. Thirdly, the Bronx cheer wasn't even that loud because there was only 26,000 people there. So it wasn't even
people heard it. Obviously, people heard it. Obviously, Scotty has mentioned that issue because it was obviously scrutinised on the screen. So there must have been a strong enough crowd to hear that comment. So
we heard a bit about.
Look, you know, it's part of football, mate. You know,
see that? Can you see that?
You need those players to perform.
Can you see that, Mark? That's your supporters doing it to your players. And we've got evidence. That's your supporters, bro.
Ooh, he has got the evidence.
Scotty, is that acceptable? You know, regardless if it's an individual or the whole team. You know,
no, but you just threw that up when your supporters did the same thing, Mark.
Players are going to get scrutinised, mate. If Kerno hasn't taken a mark all game and he takes a mark in the last quarter, I guarantee you most of your supporters will sit there and cheer. It's like, yeah, thank God he took a bloody mark. All right? So, you know, I can understand it's probably not the right thing to do in some ways, but you've got to understand with the supporters, you know, side of things that they've got every right to kind of cheer and say, thank God he's taken a mark in the back line. When he hasn't taken one for the last 4 weeks, Scotty. So
there we go. Like 4-hour bloody answer, which will lead to nothing.
Still, thank you for attempting to answer the question, Mark.
I'll
I'll give you the layup after that. I mean, I'll still spice it up. It was pretty disappointing in your analysis of the game and not making one mention of your debutant Saad Al Hawley and his impact on the game.
Yeah,
Were your eyes painted on or something, Mark?
Well, that was us having the fresh legs in the last quarter. I Saad Al Hawley coming onto the ground, and he created.
Right, so there was that fewer people when he came on. You could literally hear every single Lebo cousin in the fucking stadium go up at once. The volume went up like 80% when he came on.
Yeah, they did too.
And that's what you want. Exactly the same. What happened with Mackay? So you want the supporters to retaliate.
It wasn't exactly the same as Mackay.
Well, no, but in some ways, at the end of the day, he had a spurt. It was only on the ground for 20 minutes, mate. So we can't start jumping the gun right now. So. But it was a good inspiration.
For 20 minutes, had more impact than 3/4 of your side.
Well, that's exactly what I was saying, and that was a good result, and that was good to see.
I didn't deserve a mention in the review.
Well, no, he didn't, but I did mention the fresh legs, and that's what I was referring to, Scotty, about the fresh legs.
We'll call him fresh legs from now on.
We'll call him fresh legs, which Carlton probably haven't got.
Well, quick addendum. What are your thoughts on debuting players as the sub?
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
Not like it. Not a fan.
I think it's gross.
I think it's shit ass.
Agree, mate.
If you're good enough to play seniors, you're good enough to play 4 quarters.
Yeah.
The sub is a tactical position, not just we'll see how you go.
Yeah,
and then drop you
I agree.
Mark?
I agree. I don't like it. I think, and you know what? We're probably going to fall into that trap this week, Scotty, because they brought in one. It's a first gamer, and then you're right.
Will White, Ashton Moyer. I think Ashton will end up sub, but even that's disappointing, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. All right, that's good. All right,
Mark, I want to know the answer to the question, please.
Yeah. What was the answer? What was the question? Sorry, my friend.
Yeah, I like answering questions.
That's
mate.
No, it was
Mark, I listen to you for 4 fucking hours every single week. You can't listen to me for 2 minutes.
Hey, I've answered every single question you've given me, Scotty, mate. Give me a break, brother. I'll cop it.
Should we debut players as the sub, Mark? Should we debut players as the sub?
Yeah. Should we debut players as a sub? Oh, damn. Depending on their position, depending on where they're at. Yes.
As a halfback flanker. That should have the legs to run out the full game.
No, put him as a sub.
There you go.
Because they've got that like I said, what happened with Saad, he's got that run, and that made a difference to the game. I think that if they put him on from the start, it might have not given us that kind of spark, So let him sub, and then next week or the week after, obviously we're playing against Melbourne.
He could be right. He could be right. Right, but I don't like it. I think they, like you get your first game, you should be playing the whole game, man. And you're right, like the sub should be a tactical move. But in saying that, it worked for him, didn't it? Because he came on, he gave him the run at the end, didn't he? He gave, and he actually lifted the team in a way, Him 100%. Lifted the team, and he lifted all these Lebo Rallos in the stand. How pumped were they, mate?
Oh yeah,
they were pumped, mate. There was all Andy and George's mates all up there. They were all pumped, mate. So that's it. Hey, listen, you're a star, Scotty. I'll see you tomorrow night.
Yeah, thanks. See everyone tomorrow night, fellas. Love the Rivals. Have a good one. See you next week.
See you, mate.
Thanks, buddy.
See you, mate. Hey, I'm going to try this, right, because I really want him on, but he's got no photos. So I just want to see. Are you there, Rat Poison?
Yeah, good evening, Rock. How are you?
But he hasn't got the camera. There's something fishy about you, mate. But anyway, I'll take this, unless you want to put on your camera.
It's up to you. I work for the Underground. Is that 6 hard pipe-in Italians are after me in the middle. I sit back in Victoria. So I think what I'll have to do is just keep anonymous for now.
All right.
Protect my identity.
How you going anyway?
Mate.
Look, I'm wonderful, Rock, but I think a few words need to be said straight from the outset. And let's get straight into it. A few barchies, a few brickbats.
Go, mate. I've been
And a little bit of straight talk at the end, you know. Now, listen, Rock, I think what you've done is somewhat unique. You've been around for a long time. You put yourself right out there. And we all know, you know, how you bleed. And all the stuff I say against you, Rock, is mainly about your silly politics. As a person, I think you've done a fantastic job. I can't speak highly enough of what you've done for this channel and for the, you know, footy media in general, Rock, and I'm sincere about that, and I mean it. I remember the first time. I remember the first time, Rock, that we had a bit of a, you know, head-to-head across the chat, and I said a few things against Carlton, and you gave one of the most funniest and most intense roasts of Geelong that I've ever heard, and I think that was when I knew you were a real person. I really appreciate it. I thought it was funny, and it was great. So
Love it.
it was good.
No, that's good, man. I roast everyone. You know me, man. I like to give it, man. I like to have a bit of fun. This is why we brought Fourever Rivals back, man. I love the banter, man. It's
Well,
all about
get
banter.
ready, Rock, because I've got a few for you now. Let's get ready. Let's get right into it. Let's get serious about it too. Let's get serious about this Fourever business, because I think, Carlton, what you're doing is insinuating yourself into this. Richmond has 3 recent flags. Collingwood even has 2. And even Essendon has a flag this century. Carlton hasn't won since the 1700s, so I don't think you have any credibility. I think what should be happening is Geelong should be one of the Fourever Rivals. You can be host, and let's have a preview. What I'd be saying right now is to Manny, I'd be saying, listen, Manny, do you remember, Manny, 20 years ago, or 30, do you remember in the 70s, Manny, there was all this talk about, from Carlton about the Collingwobbles, and it went on for 20 years. Then the Collingwobbles went for 25 and 30 years. There was all this talk from Carlton about the Collingwobbles, and then it broke. We're 30 years now into the Collingwobbles. At least Collingwood was playing off sometimes. I mean, Carlton is the fun. I thought Shane Warne was funny. I thought Shane Warne was the funniest thing I've ever seen in sport. Carlton has overtaken that by a mile. I think Carlton is the biggest joke I've ever seen. But the serious part now I'll get to is that people are starting to wake up a bit, and people are slowly coming around. I don't think Carlton really, or to be honest, is any worse than Geelong or Richmond or any other shitwoke clubs in the league. I think the whole thing sucks, and I actually feel a bit sorry for. This sounds stupid, I know, but I really do. I feel a bit sorry for you, Rock, and the other Carlton people who really, you know, give you heart and guts and have been doing for all these years. I remember 5 or 6 years on the 5 or 6 years ago on the fan cams when you know, the Carlton people were angry, really angry and bitter about what's been happening. I watched it last Friday night, and people were kind of resigned and laughing about it now. Not laughing in a good sense, but just, what the fuck can we do? We've given all we can, and what else can we do but laugh now? And it's kind of sad in a way. So I'm glad, Rocky, let me have my say. I don't really think I belong on panels. I think I'll just stay in the chat. Sometimes, you know, if you request, I'll make an appearance. But I've really enjoyed it, Rock. And to be honest with you, Rock, apart from your politics, everything else I say is a bit of a piss take, especially about footy. I think Carlton are cunts, but I think they're also got good people as supporters. I think it's the board, and I think it's the rest of the way it's run. So God bless you, Rock. God bless you, Mark. God bless you, Liam. You're a great addition. And Manny, I hope to see Manny again.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate everything, Rock. Take care, mate.
Appreciate it, Rad, man. And
Nice,
about
man.
politics, I think what we'll do is, because I don't agree with your politics either, so what we'll do is we'll keep the politics completely out of this. But as far as the footy stuff, everything you said, I can't agree with you more, man, about the Blues, mate. You hear me, mate. I completely agree with you. I reckon we're a shambles, and it goes further than just the coach and the players. This goes all the way to the top, mate. And until we fix it, I don't think we're going to get anywhere.
Take care, Rock. Nice to speak to you, mate. Take care. Bye-bye.
See you, brother.
Oh, nice work, mate.
That's good that he came on. Yeah. Where is he? Where do I do?
Beautiful.
At least we know he's real now, don't we? We haven't seen his face, so there's something there. I don't know, but maybe he just doesn't want to be seen. Sebo, if you can just wait
He's
a
got
bit,
to buy
I'm
a mic at least.
going to
I
get this
reckon.
bloke on ultimate greatness. Are you there, mate?
Greatness.
Or have you frozen? You're
Oh.
frozen. He's frozen. Look at him.
Yeah.
That's like Collingwood. Look
Collingwood and
Is it better now?
greatness.
Give me two.
All right,
Um,
what I'm going to do is I'll get Seba on and we'll get ultimate greatness as soon as he fixes up that.
Crazy, mate. Oh, boy.
How are you,
Right,
big
bro.
smiley face? Look at you, mate. What are you doing? What's going
I'm
on?
fucked.
Did you? We just heard from rat poison.
I'm fucked. I'm spent. I'm tired, and I'm already tired from the game tomorrow. I can't be fucked.
He's tight. Oh,
Right.
man. He's
Me and
conceding
Seba-
already, man.
Seriously,
Seba
I
went
can't
out.
be. I cannot be fucked going tomorrow. But I'm gonna rock up like a dumb cunt again.
Yeah, we'll rock up. We've got our seats. You know us,
You're
man.
good
We'll be
fan,
there
mate.
right till the end, man. And we
Sorry
get
to
in
the
and-
chat. It's very close and personal. I can't be bothered getting up tonight, so this is
That's
all you're
all
gonna
right.
get.
So
But,
what do you
yeah.
reckon? First of all, well, Mark's gone. He must have gone for an Abiba. But Mark's gone. Have you got a question for Liam, or do you want to talk about
I
the
was
Blues?
gonna come on. I was gonna come on and because I can't think of anything, and I'll just say it straight tonight. I can't. My brain is too fried. But I was gonna come on and ask Mark and Liam if they've got a question for me each.
Oh, I like that.
A question for you. Oh,
Yeah,
I
I'll
have a
put you
question
guys
for
on the
you?
spot instead of me getting on the spot. And
what?
thinking
No,
of it.
that's good. Making me work, mate.
That's it.
What would I ask you? So, all right. Well, let's go. Let's go with your attitude then. You're saying you don't want to go tomorrow night. You're like, oh, I'm gonna be a dumb cunt if I go watch the game. Like, blah blah. Are you conceding defeat before you even get to the game? So
I think I conceded defeat directly after the Western Bulldogs game. To be completely honest with you.
Right. So
Where's the other
just
fella
tip
gone?
Collingwood full confidence, put the house on it. Is
How-
that what you're saying?
I mean, how can you really be confident in them after what they've displayed for the first 3 weeks? And you know what? How can you really be confident in them in what they've displayed since the second half of last year?
Fair. I do have a question for you. Because as I've said, I think your problem is you guys are getting ahead and losing it. How far do you have to get ahead from Collingwood? If you're ahead by like say 5 or 6 goals going into the last quarter, surely you hold it from there, right?
They got to have
Will you be
at
confident
least
then?
they got to have at least a 36 to 40 point buffer, and Collingwood cannot have kicked a goal with 5 minutes left in the third quarter.
That's the other problem. It's those red
momentum. Right, yeah.
those red time goals kill us, mate. Like teams are kicking goals in the last 30 seconds, minute of the game, you know, and it's going from 4 goals to 3 goals, you know
Like
what I
Riley
mean?
West last week, you just knew if he kicked that goal, we were fucked, and we were fucked.
And it's the way they got away in the back and kicked the goal, you know, like it's you know, like fucking hell,
You
man.
don't
Like,
even have words to describe it. That's how shit it is.
because you knew as soon as that happened, you kind of go, oh man, and then you're just hoping that they're going to do something in the last quarter. It's more of a hope than
Exactly.
you know, like confidence, because you've seen it over and over again. You know what I mean? And
Enzo's
I don't know
saying-
what it takes to break that kind of hoodoo.
And I'm not gonna sit here and say I told you so, but Enzo in the chat, and he said it for the past 2 weeks. I said it at the start. I said it before the start of the season in the first jumper punch episode. I said we didn't look good. We didn't look good. I don't know where everyone was getting all this bullshit from. We didn't look good. And the telltale signs were there all off season. They shouldn't have traded Matt Kennedy. That's the only. They shouldn't have got rid of Matt Kennedy. The only one I don't give a shit about is always. To be honest, I don't care. But that's the one person they shouldn't have got rid of. And I'm pretty sure I said it to Rocco and Mars or whatever. But it's the one person they should have got rid of, because you know what? Now you can really use him. And there's another one. I know it's living in like 2 years in the past. But you know Zach Fisher, he would have played 3/4 of the season last year, and he would have played every game this year. This is what I mean. This is what I mean. They don't want to guarantee the spots to people. I mean, I guess obviously Kennedy we didn't draft, so he's not one of it. Like, you know what I mean? But basically, he was here for over half a decade. Fisher was here from the start, but they don't want to sit there and it's just I don't know. Just maybe it's just.
I don't know their thinking, you know what I mean? Like, and this is like what Mark was asking before, you know, like about the team and are we like, oh, we should be more upset. I don't know how much more upset we can be. We've been saying this for ages, man. Like the moves they make are just, they're mind-boggling sometimes.
Yeah, and I see Bing in the chat saying no point crying over past plays. And yes, I do agree with you, but fuck, some of those past players we could really fucking use right now because the depth. Well, you know what? There is no depth. There is zero depth. There is zero depth.
At
I
the
don't know why
moment,
you're
there is.
fucking ranting and raving up there. I said this. There was no depth.
Seba, I said that last week, mate. The good teams have got depth, mate. And I said it about
100%.
7 times in my conversation last week. Now you're saying it right now. You haven't got depth.
Yeah,
and that's the key, mate. You haven't got it, mate.
We don't even have a backup for our tall forwards, bro. Brody Kebab, bro. He's not gonna go and kick you 5 goals again this week. And if he does, I'm happy to be wrong. I want to be wrong. I want to be proven wrong.
Look, I mean, teams can play with you know the spirit and the effort and pressure.
Yeah, but that only gets you so far.
Footy's all about pressure, right?
Can I say
they can only get you so
something
far. Yes, spot on. But you guys have had the opportunity to do that the last 5 or 6 years, and that was my concept of saying that.
You know what I fear, Mark? You know what my fear is, Mark? And you know what? It started creeping in towards the end of last year, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger in my head. I fear that this team as a whole has peaked. I fear that their prelim was the peak. They were like a North Melbourne.
Correct, mate. And that's what I was trying to say, mate. That was your time. And for some reason, you're going backwards instead of forwards from there. You guys should be right up there every year, top 4 contenders. Not contending, contenders.
On name, we should be.
The list that you guys have got, you should be up there.
Yeah, so when you say that, it's not like we've got the players and this part about depth, right? I don't really go for that because first of all, Seba, right? How do you know we haven't got depth if we don't even play the kids?
But that's the thing. Even if you play them now, they're being thrown into the maze on fucking Harry Potter with no direction.
I understand that, and that's the problem. How do we know, like, about these plays? How long have we been saying play these kids? Like, for example, talk about mistakes. Like last week, they dropped Camperelli and Lord. They bring Lord back this week. Why are you dropping them two? Like Camperelli's played 2 games, right? What is that going to teach him? Dropping him in the third game?
Did they drop Frankie Evans?
And they bring in like this Frankie Evans, right?
Did they drop him? When didn't they release? I haven't seen the teams. I know Moya and Will White's playing, but have they dropped Frankie Evans?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been omitted. I've got it here.
And this is the same shit has been happening year on year on year on year. What the fuck does the kid learn from that? What does he learn from that?
No, and this is the point. Like the first game, they kind of ruined him. They kept kicking the ball in over his head, and the bloke was getting pounced. Last week, he had like an ordinary game. He had 9 possessions. I'm not saying
he's not going to go and be a superstar, and that's what they
don't fucking give him like 2 rounds and then just drop him and bring in like these players, and then now this week they've actually done something where they brought in some young kids, right?
We're actually pretty tall this week, aren't we?
Well, no, they brought in Lord.
Moya's pretty tall.
And they brought in Moya. But at least I've been saying, and people go to him, oh, he's not doing everything right. But just play him, mate. Like, he's got to be doing better than what we're bringing out there. You got
to baptize these players now. That's it. Even if they're gonna play like shit, you got to baptize them. That's 100%. It. And if it's a baptism of fire, who gives a shit?
And the other thing is too, selection integrity. I've been talking about this for years, mate.
There is none.
Mate, if a player's, I don't care who it is, if they're not playing well, you got to drop them, mate. You got to
100%.
drop them. You can't play them. And we've got a bunch of like top end players, or our top end anyway. People like McGovern and Akers, they've been playing like Skadar, mate. And then we got like, we talked about this last night, and then they're playing fucking players all over the place in the wrong positions, right? Fucking Hollins is in the bloody back pocket. Mate, he played the whole year in the wing, mate. Like, what are we doing, you know? So
It doesn't make any sense to me.
it doesn't. And then you go, oh, is it the coach? Is it not the coach? Whatever. Yeah, well, you're making the decisions. You're putting them in there, mate. Like, far out, mate. Like, so it's not working.
100%.
But we'll see tomorrow. I still think we can win tomorrow because Collingwood
It's
aren't
never
going.
out of the realm of
Are
possibility.
we doing the tips, are we? Are we doing the
Yeah, we'll
tips?
do it next, yeah.
Are we? Yeah.
It's never out of the realm of possibility, but
100%. 100%.
you know what? My heart wants to tell me, yeah, look, we're going to win.
No, look, it's going to be hard, man, because at the end of the day, I think I heard Bucky's review today, and he said something good. He goes, listen, he goes, what we do good, they do better. And what they do, like what they do, what did he say? And then what they do good, we don't do
Good.
as good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the things that we both do good, they do better, and the other things they do okay, and we do shit. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
that outside run and that we do shit. Yeah, the contested ball, we win it, but they're still good at it.
100%.
You know what I mean? So it's going to be tough, but you know how Collingwood Carlton games go, mate. It'll go. I believe it'll go down to the wire again.
Yeah, next minute, get done by 60 points.
We could get done by 60 points, but if we win,
What did he carry out? A bag of spuds?
yeah.
What a dickhead. What a dickhead.
All right.
Anyway,
All right,
guys.
mate. We'll
Thanks for
see you
having me on.
tomorrow night.
No good luck to both your teams. I hope they get pumped by 100 points. See you
Bye-bye.
guys.
Ciao.
Thanks,
You got
mate.
the buy.
Essendon have the bye. Could lose
yeah.
still.
Well, they have lost, if you want to tell you the truth, this week, because they lost 2 players for the season. Didn't you, Mark? You didn't name that. That's pretty big losses you've done.
Yeah.
Yeah. They lost two players during training, didn't you?
When was this?
Yeah, young Edwards, obviously, you know, he's only played a couple of games.
Oh,
but,
yeah. Tommy Edwards. He's gone.
Orwell's the keeper. We've got a couple of
It's a shame. It's a shame. You don't want to see young
couple of
kids
players coming back. You know,
It's a
Sardis,
shame. I
Parrish,
love Tommy Edwards.
and Perkins. So we can cover for Orwell, but Edwards, you know, he's only played a couple of games. Mate. We'll throw somebody else in there. We'll be fine.
No, but it's going to hurt, man. It's not good, man. But anyway, yeah. All right, you know what? I'll put out the link again. If anyone wants to jump on while we're doing the tips, jump on. The link's there. Jump on. If there's a Collingwood person that wants to jump on, I know Kay took off because he probably sucked all the way. But if anyone else wants to jump on, because we're about to do the Collingwood game too, so let's do that. And you want to do the tips? Let's do the tips.
Well,
you know what? I
tips-
haven't played this for a while. I want to play it.
Oh.
Forever.
boy.
Do it. All right, let's get
Really?
this. You like
Tips
it?
we shall do.
First
All right,
time.
here we
Liam.
go. So we got the first game. We got
Oh,
well,
wait, have we got our results of where we're at on the ladder? Or are we doing that after?
oh yeah, well, we can do that. We can have a look at the ladder. There you go. I did forget about. Oh, it's been all over the place. So yeah, here's the ladder, as you can see.
Yeah.
Go for it, Liam.
Yeah, that top team's off. Adelaide and Gold Coast are up there. That's probably going to be game of the round.
Yep.
Collingwood are still up there. They could sneak into the top 4, maybe, with a win against those Carlton guys. Look at that. We're all clustered together down there. But it's a bit of a difference between Essendon and Carlton. With Carlton's got a big 0 next to them. What's that all about?
Big 0, but if we win, we'll have a big 4, and we could move all the way up there, and usually stuck down at the bottom. And Collingwood could quietly fall out of the 8. So it's a big game tomorrow night. So while we, so there it is. So it's very early days, but we'll see how we go. But I wanted to, so you got the game. So what I'm going to do is I have got the teams out because it is a Thursday game. So we did have the teams there. So I did want Manny to be here, but anyway, we can talk about this. So as you can see, we have got here we are. We've got White. Will White makes his debut. So he's a small forward. So Will White, yeah. So he was a supplementary pick. From Newman went down. So so good luck to him. First game. We'll see what he plays. And then we've got Moya's come back. He'll be his third game. I'm excited about Moya. We need someone up forward, and we'll see how we go. And also, who else came in? And Lord's back into the middle. I'm happy that they put Lord back in because I think he's going to be a good midfielder. He's under, and to me, like, start playing players where they should be playing. You know, like they've done it here. They've put it in there. Walsh should be playing on the wing. Holland should be playing on the wing. You know what I mean? And then you got Kemp, you got Kerno, and you got Moya, and they're going to play Lewis Young, which will play our forward in the ruck. Collingwood, I'm not really sure who's in and out for Collingwood. I'm not really sure. I can't tell you. It doesn't say the in and out, but there's their team. As I said, we match up. We match up as a team, man. It'll be okay, man. It won't be what everyone thinks, you know. As I said, Collingwood to me, and if anyone wants to fucking debate me about this, they haven't played great footy. You know what I mean? They pumped Port, which can't play over here. They got smashed by GWS, and really, they were lucky to get over the line with the doggies. So you know what? We have got a Collingwood person here, so we'll get him on ultimate greatness. How are you, mate?
Yeah, doing all right. Yourself?
Good, mate. Good, mate.
Cool.
Well, perfect timing. You've come in, so get in there and let's talk. Who's coming in and out of your side? Like, I'm not sure who are the ins and who are the out for this week.
I'm not too sure specifically, but I'm pretty confident. I know Reef obviously came out because he did his ACL.
Yep.
And who was the other one? Cox would have came out for Checkers and Frampton. So
Yes,
Frampton probably came in for Mackay, so he'll probably match up on him if he's playing. But I didn't see a Carlton team.
Yeah, well, Carlton, as I said, we've taken out Evans, we've taken out Cottrell, and we took out someone else. And we've got our first gamer in Will White. We brought in Lord to jump into the middle, and Moya will jump into the forward line. So yeah, we've strengthened up a bit of that small forwards, which we're going to need. And and just put Lord in the middle, and hopefully they play Walsh along the wing. And and that's it. That's our team. So while you're there, mate, tell me about your team. How's it look for this week? What do you think? Are you worried at all?
I mean, actually a little bit. Just purely off the fact that we're coming off the bye. I'm not worried in the sense that we're like going to lose. I think probably the better word is I'm just curious in terms of how we are going to react off the bye because I can't remember if there has been recent success, but I know there was a stat a few years back where the success rate coming off the bye wasn't too great. So I don't know if that has changed because that's
you got
been a stat I've held.
Maya check. Sorry, in Frampton and Maya check.
Yeah, Checkers. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, sorry, I should have said Maya check, but yeah, I call them Checkers.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where I mean, I'm going into the game thinking like we should win. There's nothing saying that we can't, but I guess the way I'm looking at it is more in the sense that we've got everything to lose and Carlton have everything to gain. And that's sort of the mindset I'm sort of taking it. Whether it's the right one or not, I'm not 100% sure, but there's just something about this game that is like, I feel like I should be more confident, but I'm just not. And again, coming off the Dogs game, we played something like 3 games in, 12 days or something like that. So on one hand, you can look at it as the boys were probably pretty tired going into that bye, so they probably, if we had a stronger team against the Dogs, we probably would have lost. But at the same time, we've also been a team where we always play when you need it and not necessarily when you want it. And I feel like the Port Adelaide game, that's always a one-off in terms of no matter what form we go into it, we always seem to smash Port Adelaide. So that's sort of been my sort of question throughout the year is like, what's different, and albeit we obviously bet the Dogs, and that was different because normally we have a poor record against the Dogs, but at the same time, we bet the Dogs without Bontempelli, Cody Waitman, Jamal Hagan wasn't playing. I'm sure there's like plenty of others. So to me, that even though we did beat them, so I guess that's technically a tick in some way, but can you really, from a person saying, well, what's different? Like, because if you take out Bont and all those players, obviously you're going to get the win. So does all those players mean, because normally we'd lose them by, we'll just say 20 points. With all those players in, and we only won by, I think it was like a goal, I think it was. You could probably put that down to things still not being anything different. So that's basically my sort of.
That's a fair assessment. And as I said, you've got your 2 wins, and naturally it was a good win against Port. I mean, you smashed them. That was a good win by you guys. But the week before, I mean, GWS showed you up. The Dogs game could have gone either way. You know what I mean? But you took the point, so you take it. So we come in tomorrow, and as I said, I'm not going in with a whole heap of confidence. I'm worried. You know what I mean? But in saying that, we've still got enough power, enough like superstars out there to do damage, man. Cripps is going to be hard to stop. The bloke's gonna die out there, right? And you got Curnow, man. Curnow can turn it on at any time, and you saw him for a quarter and a half last week. The problem was, mate, he ran out of legs. But then we had Kemp who kicked 5, so he took over that role, But he's superstar, man. You got Wiedering at the back there. Wiedering, it's hard to get by, so he's going to stop. I'm worried about always your small forwards get us, so. I'm really worried about. I'm really worried about your small forwards, So they're the ones that get me going. But listen, it's going to be a tough game, but I'm going to go in there confident, and you just don't know, man. The last few games have, been less than a goal. So
who you tipping, Rocco? Who you tipping?
What's that? I'll tip Carlton. I think we can win tomorrow. I actually think it might be one of those, like circuit breaker games, man, because back against the wall, they've got nothing to lose tomorrow. You can see the coaches have had made some moves this week, and they're putting some young kids in there. So they're going to tell them to play for a bit of freedom. If you beat us on the outside, you'll get us. But if we can control the game, look, if it's within a couple of goals in that last quarter, I'm going to worry. If it's within 4 goals, I'm going to worry, to tell you the truth.
Because I feel like every game we've had, if we go into quarter time, if it's anything less than 4 goals, and maybe if it's like 5 goals, if it's the bottom 6 team, I feel like we always feel like we're always a chance. Which I mean it's. I mean, I know. The last time I was on, I was obviously always I was pretty supportive, pretty positive. I had a pretty positive outlook, and it's just, when you have a team that can do that, how can you not be?
Yeah, 100%. So many obviously go on the Pies. Rocco for the tips.
He went.
Yeah, I've got Manny's tips in the chat. He has tipped Collingwood.
Of course. I'm going to go Carlton, of course. And you all 3 going to go for the Pies, yeah?
Well,
you know what? No, I'm going to back Carlton, mate. I reckon you're going to do them. I would not want to be Collingwood this week.
It hasn't said like we've got everything to lose, so and I just
What
feel
are you
like Carlton
doing,
have everything to gain.
I think. Sorry, your ultimate greatness there, mate. But I feel that it's going to be close for 3 quarters, very close. But I think Collingwood's going to have the fresh legs, having that bye, and they'll win by 5 goals.
Oh, all right, we'll see. I hope not, but
I mean, I'd
as
love
I
to see
said,
it.
I'm going to go in
Maybe
there. I reckon they're going to
Carlton
go in a bit cocky because I've been hearing them on the media, Maynard and all that. They've been a little bit cocky. You could just see it in them. Hopefully, hopefully Carlton can take advantage of that and come over the line. But it's going to be, look, it's the biggest rivalry in Australia. I don't care what anyone says, man. Carlton Collingwood, then you can feel it in the crowd, mate. You can feel it. Like Collingwood Essendon is probably the biggest home and away game as far as the Anzac Day. One game. But as far as the rivalry, I'm telling you, there's nothing like it, man. The hatred in that stadium is, I don't know if you feel the same, Ultimate. It's just, you can just feel the energy in there, man. Like it's really.
Absolutely. I mean, I feel even from my point of view, like I've sort of, I mean, there's obviously been like, supporters from the other side where it's just gotten to the point where like, because we've all had like Twitter interactions or Instagram or whatever, it actually gets to the point where it's starting to become, because we've been speaking like on these social media platforms so much, there's actually a lot of like, I feel like that there's a lot of respect, at least like from my side of things, and I've sort of like noticed to sort of ignore the ones that are playing the respect game, if that makes any sense. Because I know like last year, there was not going to obviously name the names and stuff, but there was some that will like tag me in Twitter posts and stuff and being like, oh, I'll see you at the game, and if you're willing to turn up and blah blah, and that got a bit aggressive.
No need for any of that, man.
Yeah, exactly. But at the end of the day, it's footy. It's fun. At the end of the day, we're here to enjoy it. This is a sport that we absolutely love. We've got the passion for it, and
no, it's all good, man. Like as I said, if anyone takes this personally, like there's something wrong with you, man. We do this show so we can have a bit of fun. We hit a bit of banter, but once the game is done, man, it's all good. It's all good, man. I hate you. I hate your team. I've been brought up to hate your team. There's nothing wrong with that. But like I say to, I've actually spoken to Black and White a few times now, and I've said to him, look, I hate your team, but I love your passion, and that's all we can do, man.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, as I said, over the years, like I've definitely met a lot of people on social media platforms, and it's like, you do sort of be like, it's I don't think there'll ever be a day where where I'll be, saying, I love that club sort of thing, but like, but there are times where, even some of the times of this week leading into the season, and Carlton have had their games. Like I've even been in the private messages and some of them just going, "Hey, dude, you okay?" sort of thing. And it's just at the end of the day, like, it's a sport, but like, it's like as much as you want to be in that sort of, as much as you want to go to war, you want to go into battle and stuff, you're also there to pick the other guy up just as much, if you know what I mean. Because at the end of the day, we're not. Yeah, it's not World War II, World War III, or whatever it is, and we're just as I said, we're just here to have fun.
I love it. I mean, I'm going tomorrow. I'm going to be pumped, man. I'm telling you, I'm going to be pumped, and I'm going to be cheering every fucking goal. You know what I mean? And I'm going to ride the highs and the lows, just like everyone else, And if we win, it's Carlton Collingwood. When you beat Collingwood or Carlton beat. Or Collingwood beat Carlton, it makes you bloody weak. It makes your month, man. Like you're right on a high. It's the ultimate thing, So it's all good, man. Look, man, I appreciate you jumping on, brother. You're being good, man. It's all good, man, and it's good that you jumped on and you gave us a bit of a look at the Carlton Collingwood game. So if I see you out there, make sure you come and say hi.
Oh, I definitely will. Yeah, well, because I'm still trying to find tickets. So, I don't like my chances. Because I think it was fourth level wing. I think it was the only one that was left. So
they're tough, and anyone selling them, they're fucking overpricing everything. They're dogs, man. So
don't get started.
I got my tickets like 4 weeks ago. I already knew what was about to happen. So
Yeah.
Unlike the other two, man, I make sure I go to the games. Yeah. All right, man.
Yeah.
Good seeing you.
All good.
Hey, mate.
Yeah. Right, see ya.
Hey, listen, we have got another one here, and I'll get you on. You're up the Maggies. I'm happy to get you on, but again, there's no picture there, man, and I'm a bit sus when there's no picture. I got on. We got on Rat Poison because, mate, he's been on the channel for years, man. So like it's all good. I wanted to get his voice, but up the Magpies. Put on your camera, and I'll get you on.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
While
we're there, let's do this. Let's go into the others now. We got Geelong and Melbourne.
Pretty easy. You got to go with Geelong for this one, right? I think we're all agreed.
Spot on, Liam, mate. Spot on, buddy. I'm going to go for Geelong as well, bud.
And what did Manny do?
Manny went Geelong as well. I got his tips here. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So all Geelong. All right. So we've got the next one. Suns and Adelaide. This is actually an interesting game. Adelaide are flying, right? And but the Suns, I don't know. What are you guys going to say?
Yeah, I think Gold Coast for me. They're playing some good football at home. I think Gold Coast will win.
Yeah, it's hard to say. They're both playing good football, but I don't think they're beating the best of teams. But Gold Coast were fantastic at home last season. They really made it a fortress. It's hard to go past them in this one, so stick with the Suns.
I'm actually going to go Suns too. I'm with you. Like Adelaide. Actually, this is a test. If they can beat the Suns, I reckon they're on their way, man. And what did Manny pick? Manny
has tipped the Suns as well.
Oh, so everyone's going the same. All right, Richmond and Brisbane. Sorry, mate, Brisbane. A bit simple here.
Well, I think they smacked us by like 20 goals last time we played them. So, yeah, you got to stick with Brisbane. Although, mate, West Coast played pretty all right against them the other week. Yeah. They were pretty terrible for a half against Geelong. So hopefully it's not a big 100-point smashing, but yeah, you're not giving us a chance in this one.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
You, Marco?
Yeah, look, I think it's at the MCG, isn't it? It's not at Marvel. So I think Brisbane will win by 5 to 7 goals. That's a good effort for Richmond. 5 to 7.
I hope you're right, mate. I appreciate that. I hope you're right.
I think 5 to 7 goals.
We got North Melbourne and Sydney. This is another good one because North Melbourne aren't playing bad footy play. But I don't know, man. I still don't trust them. And I'm going to go Sydney.
I had a look. I always kind of like to try and make one sort of, interesting pick. And I've already picked Carlton. I like how North Melbourne's playing. I haven't been too convinced with Sydney in their first 3 games. But they are coming off a bye, so I do think that helps them. But North play Marvel pretty well. So I'm going to give it to them. Let's go to North.
North, all right. What did Manny say?
Oh, yeah, we forgot Manny's tips. He tipped Lions, obviously, and he has tipped... He's tipped North as well. Get in there, Manny. Well done.
Marco.
Yeah, you know what? Every week, guys, for the last nearly 3 years, flip of the coin. There's one game every week they're going to flip it. So this is the flip of the coin for me, guys. And we've got tails. So it's Sydney for me.
Sydney,
is this an effective strategy? Does it work for you?
It has, mate, because, the last 3 years, always do a flip of the coin, mate, and whatever comes up, I normally back it. So,
But do you get the result from it, or?
Oh, sometimes I do, mate. Yeah, well, it's kept me up with Rocco up in the tips every year, mate. So, it's not bad, buddy. It's not bad. Give it a go.
Cool. All right.
GWS and the Eagles. As I said, man, if you put on your camera, I'll put you on. I don't know, man. I don't trust, man, what you're going to put on the camera here.
Yeah, keep going.
GWS and Eagles.
Yeah.
GWS for me.
Yeah, pretty easy one, mate. You got to go with the Giants there.
I think so. Yeah, you're going to go Giants too.
Yeah,
What about Port Adelaide and St Kilda?
Yep, I'm gonna go Port for this game. They'll bounce back because I don't think St Kilda have beaten Port for the last 3 or 4 years at home. So Port for me, just.
Yeah, no, I watched one guy's tipping video. I think maybe Cardman, who is a Saints supporter, and he said they haven't beaten them since like 2010 or something. But it is a good time to reverse the curse, and they are playing some decent football apparently.
But it's over there, man.
I still don't rate them. I'm tipping Port. Manny tipped Port as well.
Yeah, I think everyone's gone Port. And Freo and the Bulldogs. I'm going to go Freo only because it's over there.
Yeah, I went to the derby last week. Freo weren't amazing. Bulldogs have been surprising, but I feel like Fremantle will have to get the job done. I'm going to stick with them at home. It's been their third home game in a row, so if they come out with 1 win in 3 home games, that's not good. They got to win this one.
Yes, spot on, Liam, for that. Obviously, the Bulldogs are scraggers and they'll sometimes find a way to win, but Freo have got to win, and I think they'll win 2 goals at least.
Freo. All right, all good.
Yep.
All right.
Tipped Freo also.
Again, I'm telling you now, it's apparently Kay that's on here, and I can see him up there, up the Maggies. But if you don't put your camera on, I'm not putting you on, mate. I'm telling you now. Put your camera on. This bit about I've got a Nokia, you're talking shit, right? And you haven't got a camera on your phone. Get on your computer, and I'll put you on 100%, mate. But if you don't put it on, I'm not going to get you on, mate. I'm not going to risk you putting something on there that I don't fucking like. So, mate, if you want to do that, get your own show. How's that sound?
Yep.
Fair play.
And do you agree with me?
No, yeah, that's fair. No. But
I'm not getting him on.
Mate. Kay's winding us up, isn't he? And
let's have a look at this. I've been getting reamed up the arse the last 2 weeks.
Hey.
I'm on 14. Manny's on 18. Liam, I only got 3 last week. Oh, no, I got 4, sorry.
That's all right.
4
You're
last
getting better,
week.
mate. You had 2 the other week.
Yeah, I know. So it's not bloody good. So
same as the ladder where our teams are placed. There we go. Oh, we got a bit of work to do. I like that.
Yeah, no, so a bit of work, but plenty of time. I put Rat Poison on because Rat Poison has been on the chat for 4 years, mate. So, and we've had debate, and we've actually had personal messages to each other. So, I know Rat Poison, and I'll put him on, but I won't put you because I've been seeing your shit you put on there. And as I said, put on your camera and you can come on.
I'll take the risk, I reckon. Let's put him on. Let's see what he's got to say.
No, put on your camera.
No.
Put on your camera.
Can I answer the question that Enzo sent me before?
Oh, yes. Sorry. You're absolutely right.
Wait, do you want me to answer or put it on the screen, or I don't know?
I'm going to put it on the screen if I can find it, but it was way up here somewhere. Wait a sec. I'll find it because he actually, here it is. It's an Enzo. He's a 12-month member. Thank you very much. Just want to ask Liam, after 4 weeks, what's he thinking and feeling about the show? Big shoes to fill, but doing a great job, mate.
Beautiful. First of all, Enzo, thank you very much for the support. It is greatly appreciated. It's nice to hear that I'm doing all right so far. And yeah, you're absolutely right. It is big shoes to fill. I found out about this show from watching Quinn, who is from Tiger and TV. So I know how great he is. I know he definitely knows his stuff. So you're right. It is big shoes to fill. So far, so good, though. I'm really enjoying it. It's good fun. Good to have a bit of banter. I just love talking about footy, man. Yeah, I mean, sometimes the other bloke get a bit carried away. It's hard to get a word in. But, it's good to get in a cheeky little dig every now and then. And, I'm enjoying it. So, yeah. But, mainly, man, thanks for the support. Thanks to everyone else in the chat saying nice things. It's not gone unseen. I do appreciate it. Yeah, lovely stuff. Boom. That's all.
Perfect, man. And we've loved having you, man. You've been really good, man. Like really, you've fitted in perfectly. You've been able to handle us three going at each other. So, hey, Kay, what is wrong with you, man? Just put on your camera and I'll talk to you, mate. Like, stop saying that I cry and that, man. I come on every week. You're a big sook. You don't want to come on. You don't want to. I'm not putting you on if you don't put your camera on. It's not that hard. It's not that hard, mate. So stop trying to be smart ass on the comments and, you're trying, because I'll just block you, right? Yeah, but I've done the right thing and kept you on, and you want to keep going. Put on your camera. What are you? Why are you scared to put on your camera? What are you scared for? Check him out.
Yeah.
Nah, I reckon just get him on and end it now.
Nah.
If he's not good, you can cut him straight away.
Nah, just
otherwise he's just gonna keep up with this shit in the chat.
Nah, just
well, if you don't like this shit, I'll just do this, right? If you don't like this shit, this is what I can do. I can quickly do this if you want. And that's it. He's done.
That's it. He's done. Good night, Kay.
I could take him off straight away, right? It's pretty simple, right? So as I said, and he's still there. I can see him, but I can't see his face. So as soon as he puts up the thing, right, I can put him on. I'm simple. I'm not going to put him on without a camera. I let Rat Poison come on. As I said, I've been speaking to Rat Poison for years, mate. He's come on every channel. He's commented. I've actually had private comments. He's written to me privately, right? So I know the bloke, right? But mate, it's simple, man. Like either you put on your camera or you don't come onto the show, man. Man, I've got to have some sort of standards here. I'm just going to get a bloke come on, not put his face to his comments, right, and just say whatever he wants, right? No. If you're going to say something, I want to see your face. So is that fair enough?
Fair enough, boys.
Yep. All right, fair
anyway,
enough.
let's not waste time on that. Let's not waste time on that bloke, right? It's again been a big show. It's been a good show, a bit heated, but that's what we're here for. Let it all out, mate. And it's been good. It's going to be not for you, Mark, because you're not playing, but for us, it's going to be another big week of footy. Man, I'm actually looking forward to going in tomorrow. I'm actually looking forward to going in tomorrow. So I always look forward to my footy, and I think it's going to be a big game, mate. It's going to be a big game, man. And I'm telling you, they'll come out tomorrow. They'll come out. They'll come out tomorrow, and hopefully we get a win. Because if we don't, between me and you, there's going to be dramas at the club next week.
Ooh, drama.
It won't be long, man. If you keep losing, it won't be long before shit starts happening there. So, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. Nah, I did tip you. I do think you'll get them. I've got a feeling.
Yeah, and as I said, we haven't been playing
4 quarters. That's all.
Haven't been playing that bad. Man. We've just been short. And we'll see. Don't you worry. All right, guys. It's been a good day. Thanks for everyone joining in the tap. You've all been guns. Scotty's not confident at all. 100-point loss. Far out. Yeah. Anyway, hey, come and see us at the gates. I think we'll be around gate 3. Come and see us. And we'll have a bit of a chat. All the people in the chat, if you're Collingwood, will come down. And, make sure you get onto Sporting Globe. Get down there next week. Get onto the app. Thanks, everyone. And that's it. How you going? Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Go the Bombers.
Go the Blueies.
Still tight.
Go the Blue Baggers.